Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to this special one-shot of Shadow over Arnor, a Lord of the Rings one-shot GM by Sûl, and we're running on the furiously eclectic Discord server. All of that will be in the description. For now, take it away, Sûl.
Awesome, thank you, Adrian. Yes, so Shadow over Arnor. I'm pretty excited about this. We will not be using the One Ring from Free League. We will be using another system from Free League, which is Dragonbane, just to see how it works. This is the first time using Dragonbane with Lord of the Rings, and in fact, my first time using it, period. So I guess we'll be learning as we go. So we will jump in. A cue ominous music, if we had it, but
There is some ambience playing.
Oh, awesome! Very good.
You just can't hear it.
Founded by Elendil, Arnor was a place of greatness, where the wisdom of kings was matched by the sight of the Palantiri, seeing stones of great power. Elendil forged the alliance with Gil-galad and the Elves of Lindon. They, together in the Second Age, defeated the Dark Lord Sauron. But deep in the heart of Mount Doom, the alliance failed, and Isildur led humanity down a different, darker path. Many centuries have passed, and through folly and war, much that once was is lost. Arnor stands divided into three kingdoms, Arthedain, Cardolan, and Rhudaur. The Elves do not interfere. They are but the keepers of the shards of Narsil, a reminder of the alliance that remains as broken as the sword. Now there are whispers of a new power rising in the north. Rumors of a Sorcerer King who has subjugated the lands of Angmar under his iron crown. Orcs and trolls roam the Ettenmoors, and there is talk of darker things. But there is still hope. King Arveleg I of Arthedain seeks to reunite the three kingdoms and restore the alliance with the Elves. But he is not the hope of which I speak. It is of the fellowship gathered here with me tonight, whose deeds cannot change the past, but may yet shape the fortunes of those yet to come. Welcome, players. Why don't we begin by going around, and you can introduce yourself and the character that you will be playing in this epic adventure in Middle-earth. And I'm just going to go in order of what I see on the screen. So, Age, you're welcome.
Oh, I'm it. All right, let's open my sheet here. Okay, I am playing Celebrian, who is a Nordor elf. My profession is a scholar and a lawmaster. A young, sprightly 2,500 years old, or thereabouts. Wife of Eldor, I believe. Elrond, there you go. Wife of Elrond. I did have a little brief here.
You are the wife of Elrond.
There you go. I'll edit that out, not. So I've done a little blurb here, and it says, so I stand as a figure of grace, clarity, and quiet strength. I have not yet been personally tested by the full cruelty of the world, and so I carry a sense of hope and purpose that still endures among the elves of Middle-earth.
Cool. Avis, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Bear with me here, because I've never used D20, I don't think. I'm playing Caledon of Mirkwood. He is of Sylvan descent. His profession is a hunter, and he has a deep-seated resentment for the Elf King. That's about it.
That's Randuil. Yes. We will explore that in a little bit.
All these elf names sound the same to me. Caledor and Celebrian, they're all the same one. Same name.
Yes.
What's the princess's name?
Oh, the princess. Her name is Princess Aranel.
Aranel, okay. So I am...
And I have to...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just wanted to know how you pronounce your character's name. See if I got it right.
I'll say who I am. I'm Dwight. I'm in Ontario. Hi, everybody. My character is Roquen Eosiel Huinard. Roquen is my title as a general cavalry person. I am highborn, but nothing that would be noteworthy to anyone else. I am not specifically a protector nor a leader. My peers call me Roquen Huinard, especially if I'm at Amon Sûl, where I would be well known. The princess would call me Eociel, which is would be my name. I am just called the Shield of the Realm to outsiders.
Cool. Last but not least, Scrooge.
I will be massacring the reputation of Radagast to the brown, and any drifting off or temporary cluelessness is completely in character and totally intended.
Awesome. All right. So I have to admit, Cursus, I got it completely wrong. I thought Roqueen was your name. So anyway, my apologies, but OCL. All right. I will be sure to mess that up. So we begin. Right in the middle of the action. Roqueen, your heart quickens as you ready your weapon. Scores of warriors burst from the forest, men of Rudour, traitors to the realm. Through the chaos, you hear Lord Baranor's cold command. I want the princess alive. Kill the rest. Black arrows hiss from the trees. Can you give me an evade roll, please? Because you have a shield, you can use. You don't need to use evade. You can use a weapon skill. Whatever weapon you have in your hand, you can actually use that skill to evade. Right off the bat, let's see if we can do some damage.
So I can use my sword skill?
You can, yep. If that's what's in your hand, or if you have the spear, a lance, that's up to you. I assume you're on horseback. You're actually in a caravan on your way to Rivendell, which we will revisit, but right now you're just in the middle of it. You've been betrayed.
There's my roll, 4 of 16.
Yeah, so excellent. Your shield comes up, deflecting the arrow. As I mentioned, you notice that it's black. It is not an arrow of human make. It is an orc arrow.
Oh no!
4 arrows fly, and you have a decision to make. You do have a skill called Guardian. The princess arrows are coming down despite Lord Baranor's command. Arrows are raining down, and the princess could get hit. I'm going to roll for her, but you do have an ability called Guardian. If you want to spend the willpower, we'll start burning it now. That means you can take the hit. You're not going to take the hit. You can evade for her. What would you like to do?
100%. I would grumble under my breath that because I want to charge into battle, but my job is to protect the princess. So there'd be a moment of grumbling, but I would step in to either take the blow or evade.
Same as before, you're going to make a sword, and if you fail, you don't take the arrow, or she doesn't take the arrow, you will say that again?
Call me Huinard. Huinard's my last name. And
okay.
Huinard.
Huinard will take the arrow. So go ahead, give me another roll.
I got a 2.
Excellent. And as you raise your shield again, your thoughts drift briefly to your first meeting with the now treasonous Lord Baranor. And we'll do a flashback to Fornost. So Fornost, it is... Anuminus is the historical capital, but Fornost is essentially the operational capital of Arthedain. It is the basically where the king Arveleg would reside, and you and Princess Aranel find yourself approaching the main throne room, and outside of it waiting are 3 lords from Rudour. They're brothers. You've probably met them before at various functions, but the Arveleg has called a meeting of the 3 kingdoms and these three lords are here to pay their respects and accompany you and the prince of one of the princes of Cardolan on a trip to Rivendell. So as you approach, Princess, she's kind of leading the way. Do you want to describe your relationship with the princess, or like what type of relationship you have with her?
It would be a relationship of where we're very close, but it's unspoken because of the roles.
Okay.
So we don't need to. We don't usually have to speak. And I don't talk to her about girlish things, but often a nod or just a type of look would be enough to spring me into action from her. Would be enough.
So there, so you obviously there's a greeting, and Princess Aranel is like, so we shall be traveling to Rivendell together. I hear it is beautiful beyond words. And Baranor, actually Lord Malrek. Will step forward. He gives a bit of a bow, and he goes, "Only Baranor travels with you, princess. In my opinion, Rivendell is an arrogant beauty, nature twisted unnaturally by the will of the elves. Not for the taste of men, I think, nor for a warrior, anyhow." And he will look towards you, the princess is, you can tell she's a little bit nervous, but she will just continue. Well, I'm for one am looking forward to laying eyes upon Eladris. I hear the music of the elves is enough to stir the soul of the hardest man. She tries to get a little nudge in on him, but he just smiles. And Lord Caravan steps forward, and he basically says, "You will not find power to reunite these lands in words and song, your highness. The only true power exists in the steel of weapons and armor. That kind of power has no need to negotiate or beg. Don't you agree, Sir Knight?" As he looks towards you.
So when Lord Malric was speaking about the elves corrupting the wood and such, Huinard would definitely be like kind of raising her eyes up and nodding that she does kind of agree with that sentiment.
Oh, she does? Okay, interesting.
But the moment Caravan starts speaking, she would just be eyeing him like a threat. She does not like this guy.
So she doesn't answer him?
She would say, "The stick is only used when the carrot doesn't work."
Yeah. So one of the things that will actually get a smile out of Aranel is that all three of the Lords of Rudar have to think for a minute to kind of get what you're saying, and then they just kind of nod, and they'll turn. Actually, it's Lord Baranor who will turn to the princess, and he will say, "Perhaps you are right, princess. Besides steel, there is only one greater unifying force, and that's blood. I think maybe a marriage proposal is in your future." He'll say with a smile. You'll see she'll take a step back, and the three of them will give way as you and Aranel, kind of step out of the way, allowing you passage to the throne room. You can see a look, kind of a horrified look is on her face. And as you pass, she kind of turns to you and she's like, "My father wouldn't, would he?"
I'm not. She would act protective and say, "We will find a way."
As you enter she'll nod at that. Give you kind of a smile of reassurance. As you enter the throne room, you'll see the king and the queen. They kind of embrace their daughter. And the queen gives you a glance. Now, the queen has always been cold to you. You can't remember really a warm moment or a kind word. The king, on the other hand, has been fairly generous and has been, has ensured that you've worked hard, you've earned your station, and has ensured that you've been rewarded appropriately. But as they greet their daughter, you kind of stand back, and you'll see the king will pull a ring from his finger, and he holds it out, and he'll say, "To my daughter, I want you to wear this ring. It is the ring of Arnor, which was first given by the Elven king Finrod to Barahir in the First Age as a token of the eternal friendship between our people. It is passed down through the ages. Elrond will remember what it means better than any living man. It will remind him of what once bound our peoples together. I'm proud of you, my daughter. And now I will counsel you on what I propose." And they'll just kind of have a little bit of exchange. You're standing back. The king will kind of glance over to you periodically, and as they finish, she actually leaves with her mother to have a few parting words, and a gentleman steps forward carrying a spear. And you know him well, Sir Eldric. He kind of trained you, and the king gestures for you to come forward, and he'll probably address you by your title. So Roquin. He goes, "I want you to take this. It is Callantir, the spear that pierced the eye of Shrugdal. It was crafted by the dwarves of Khazad-dûm. It was born and has borne many a warrior through dark days. See that it does not fail you, and you do not fail it. It is a weapon of royalty, and I can see no better task set upon it than to protect my heir." They'll hold it out. They'll hold it out to you.
I would do all the proper, the bow, the whatever the customs would be to take such a great honor. I would be very humbled and look humbled and probably blush slightly and take the spear.
All right. So you take the spear, and we're going to flash back to Radagast. All right. Radagast. You watch the men of Rudar descend upon the caravan along the east-west road. But these evil men are not alone. Hidden beneath the trees, shrouded from the sun, are orcs. Suddenly, your friend Whisperfoot chitters at your side. Behind you, Radagast! Behind you! And as you turn, you see two orcs. The smaller one. Look, an old man. I bet he'll be tough and bony. Not if we boil him into a soup. That'll make him tender. Yeah, a soup. Let's put him in a soup. What would you like to do, Radagast? So, you're looking down upon this attack happening on the road by these men of Rudar. There are orcs about, and you have been discovered by two orcs. Whisperfoot disappears.
Radagast, I think he shrugs and with a minor indication, he will attempt to obscure all from view, raising a fog in which hopefully as many of the people being attacked can disappear and at least be obscured from the arrows that are falling on them.
Oh, very cool. So as you raise your staff, and the natural kind of mist begins to thicken and rise from the ground, as these orcs kind of lose sight of you, and you lose sight of as the fog also descends on the road. You are reminded, this essentially confirms your fears. Ruin of Eltharion has fallen under shadow. And I'll just do a little bit of a rewind here. Earlier in the day is the first time you've met Whisperfoot. So you actually came upon some elves that had been slain, an elven patrol. And you had the forest has been unnaturally quiet, and Eltharion, which is an old outpost of Eregion. It is destroyed long ago, but there have been rumors, or you have had suspicions, that it has fallen under shadow. And Whisperfoot is the first creature that you've come upon that has actually been there, or actually kind of knows what's going on. So you've given him a piece of dried fruit, and he's willing to chat with you about it. So this will actually be the only chance you have to talk to Whisperfoot. So he kind of looks up at you. He's like, "Bad place now. Not like before. No birds, no mice, no burrows. All gone or taken. But I get close. Quiet. I see evil things." Anything that you would like to probe Whisperfoot on?
I think the first thing is, so little one, why are you still here? Someone such as yourself needs to eat, and it must be quite difficult.
Oh, Whisperfoot, very competent, very capable, although not as much to eat as there once was. Driven away, everything has driven away. Don't go north. That's where you'll find evil things: heavy feet, hard skins, yellow eyes, sharp sticks.
And how many of those are hurting the things we care about? Not so much the humans or the elves. They will take care of themselves. But how many are actually burning trees and killing your friends?
Oh yes, they burn. Not trees. Black sticky stuff. And they dig. Not a burrow. No. They dig a hole. And inside it, noises. Looks up at you, nibbling on his piece of dried fruit.
Radagast will have looked around, checking what he says about the birds, about the lack of birds.
Yeah, so the forest is unnaturally quiet. So you did encounter wildlife in the southern Trollshaws, but as you move further north, it becomes quieter and quieter. You definitely feel in your spirit that something that a shadow has definitely fallen over this area. Something sinister is afoot.
Well, little one, I will need you to. If there is someone else that comes through that you can pass this message on, but once I find the birds, I will be able to pass the message. But we must investigate why. You said they were built. They're destroying trees. They're destroying the ground, and they're digging holes.
No, they dig. They don't burn trees. No trees. They dig. They burn black sticky stuff. And then there is the one that smells dead. Face is hidden. Everything hides when he walks. Even the worms go deep. Too deep. I can't get them. He carries a branch. Like you.
Oh. So he's another wizard. Okay. This may be good news. This
No.
I need to talk to him.
No. News, he says as as he scurries around the tree. And he perks up, and
I can talk to him if it is one of my colleagues. I can talk to him.
He kind of perks his ear, gives you a look, and says, "That place eats everything now. If you go there, no talk, you will be eaten." He says, and then he perks and he says, "Do you hear that?" And you do. It is the sound of many men, and we will switch back to the ambush and Celebrian. Elrond, actually, I'll move you. So you are actually here with Caledorn and some elves of Rivendell, but Elrond was right. Had you not ridden out to meet the company from Fornos before they reach Rivendell, they would already be dead. Rudar has bent the knee to the Iron Crown. Now the life of Isildur's heir hangs by a thread. Your warriors, so you have about a dozen warriors with you, plus Caledorn. Your warriors are skilled, but the men of Rudar are many. As you're watching, you estimate they outnumber the company from Arthedain by 3 or 4 to 1. And there are orcs in the trees. To commit your company to battle means some of those who rode with you from Rivendell will not return. They look towards you for orders. You see the desperate battle on the road. What does Celebrian do?
Celebrian looks towards Caledorn and says, I will need your sword and your bow, friend. Warriors of Rivendell, let it not be said that the elves turn from battle in the hour of need. We are the light against the darkness. Charge! She notches an arrow to fire one off at the head of the
That's pretty inspiring. And as you say that, a fog rolls out from around you, kind of, so the orcs and the men of Rudor, they will be able to, they'll hear you before they see you. Again, as you charge forward, you think of just yesterday when you left Rivendell. You found your husband Elrond standing over the shards of Narsil. He looks up as you enter. I do not look to this council with great hope, my love. The sons of Arnor speak of unity, yet their kingdom remains divided at heart. Arveleg may try to claim the crown, but whether Cardalon or Rudar will accept, I deem unlikely. And while men contend amongst themselves, the shadow of the north does not sleep. Shadow lengthens, and the servants of the enemy grow bold, even at our borders. Randuil would counsel that we let the fate of men be theirs alone to bear. And goblins have cut off the mountain passes. Lorien cannot aid us. What counsel would you give me on this?
Celebrian takes her husband's hand and says, Elrond, this is not a time of inaction. Hear me now. We have outlived too much for the world to fail. You know what must be done. I must go and assemble heroes to face the darkness and smite it before it sends a shadow over the world, the likes of we cannot return from, my love.
Some say that if we hide, we could endure this.
We cannot live disconnected from the world. We are the hope. Hope is not given, Elrond. It is chosen. And she grasps the Elfstone as she says that.
It is. Oh, it is. Oh, it's a fire here from Clevia. Elrond, he actually looks upon you with pride. I mean, he's like, he had some doubt, but you have washed that away. He steps forward, takes your hand, and I must stay here to protect Imladris. But take who you need. Ride forth. Meet this fellowship from Fornos on the road, and bring word to Arveleg that he has Rivendell's support. Until your return, Imladris will be dimmer in your absence. He'll say, kiss your hand, and you can depart unless you have any final words for Elrond.
I will say to Elrond, I'll look at him, as it may be the last time, perhaps I might see him, if there is any seed of doubt in my mind, but I'll say, this is the moment that will be remembered, my love, one way or another.
All right.
Let's ride!
All right. Jeez. Wow. This is a forceful Celebrian. This is awesome. And as Celebrian charges forward, Caledorn is standing there, watching as the men of Rudar fall upon the caravan in hand to hand. Again, orcs in the trees, and another figure just before the fog kind of masks your view. You see a wizard, Radagast. You are certain of it. He once visited the halls of Thranduil, and your king did not welcome him, nor, just like he did not welcome your decision to join this fight. And I'm going to do a bit of a flashback. This would have been weeks ago, as you had made the decision to leave Thranduil's halls. You decided you were basically had to sneak away. Thranduil is not a king with much patience. If you had said you were leaving, he might let you go, or he might have thrown you in prison for 100 years. So you decided that you had your things and you leave. But as you were departing the realm, suddenly you are confronted by Legolas and Tauriel. Legolas has a stern look in his face. He goes, "So, you decided to sneak away like a thief against my father's wishes."
If you know the history, then you know it must be done. We are not to sit idly by and let those that need not perish.
You're not sitting idly by, Caledorn. The reach of the necromancer grows ever northward. But you would waste your life for kingdoms of men that are already fading from memory? You need to stay here. Protect our home.
If all else fail and die, then what is the point?
The point is that we do not. We persevere.
And live in the shadows of those that we've already lost?
What difference do you think you can make?
Any is more than none. I shall not sit idly by.
Oh, geez. I like that. That's good. If I had inspiration, I'd be handing them out.
Don't mess with the elves.
Actually, you can take it. It's inspiration. I'll go give everybody an inspiration. So in this, it gives you a boon, same as D&D. So he will actually step back. He looks at you. You can see he's a bit torn. But this isn't the Legolas of Lord of the Rings. This is the Legolas prior to it, where he is kind of hardened by his father's will. And he just kind of looks at you and he say, "I will not stop you, but you know my father's mind in such things. It is unlikely that he will allow you to return." And he doesn't wait for an answer, and he just turns and walks away. You want to call after him, he's just walking away.
Nah, that's fine.
Tauriel will step forward, and she's like, she kind of takes your hands, and she goes, "I admire your courage, Caledorn. If the men of Arnor can count you as a friend, then perhaps there is hope. Part of me wishes I could go with you, but I can't." Legolas is right. The power of the necromancer grows. She reaches behind. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, he would say, "Yes, I understand what you must do, and this is fine. But my kinsman that died all those years ago, I cannot watch these same events unfold."
Your father. I remembered how skilled he was at fletching. And she brings something out from behind her back and holds it out to you. This was one of his arrows. Thranduil is unlikely to miss it. Take it. And my hope goes with you. So this is an arrow actually made by your father, who died during the battles of the last alliance of Elves and Men. Here's how this is going to work. I'm not going to tell you any properties of this arrow. Tolkien is kind of famous for his kind of soft magic system, not well defined. So if you can find in this game a dramatically appropriate or use for this arrow, an epic use, then it will do something special. So you can write down somewhere that you have the arrow of Callan here.
Take it.
Jump.
My head.
We will now jump back and let's get into this battle. So we're going to have an opportunity to do a traditional kind of Dragonbane kind of initiative, back and forth. But this battle is going to be a bit more. This is going to be a bit more narrative, in the sense that. So what I'm going to do is we'll just go around. We're still going to do some rolls, but what I want you to do is, as opposed to like describing a single round, what I'd like you to do is describe kind of a scene for your, like, what is your character doing? You might say something like, I ride up and I cut down three of the men of Rudor, throw my spear into the forest at the Orcs. So you're just going to describe a scene for your character, and then you're going to roll under the appropriate skill, and how well you roll is going to determine how well that scene plays out. Everybody is now on the map. Here, we'll get some goblins up here. We've got our two goblins accosting Radagast. And I will just randomly determine who goes first. So let's go with Caladorn. Celebrian has given the order to charge. The fog has rolled in around you, and the other elves are charging forward. So there are men of Rudor on the road battling the caravan. There's goblins in the trees. What would you like? What's Caladorn going to do?
Caladorn looks and gives a nod to Celebrian, and as he goes to notch the arrows in his bow, obviously the fog rolls in, and so he decides to unnotch it, put it back, sling the bow, and pull his knives out, as he will sort of enter in a bit of a stealth mode and head towards the ambush on the road.
You're going to go towards the men of Go ahead, describe. So as I charge forward, go ahead and describe what you do. Like, what do you do when you reach the ambush? You hear the sound of metal. So listen, elves have enhanced senses. They have great hearing, great eyesight. So I'm actually going to say the fog doesn't really hinder you very much. You kind of know where everybody is, and you can actually see further through the fog than others. You reach the caravan. The soldiers of Arthedain are being hard pressed. They're dropping, because they're just basically outnumbered. And of course the orc arrows or the goblin arrows. The goblins don't seem to care whether they're hitting men of Rudor or men of Arthedain. They're just blindly firing arrows into the melee. So go ahead, describe like an action scene.
Yeah, so he rolls in from the fog sneakily, moving very light of foot, as is the nature of his skill set, and looks for any sort of men of importance, people that look like they probably should be protected, and if he sees them, he would attack multiple, slicing at ankles and stabbing in the neck, and trying to
just kind of slipping in, just like a blur in the fog. Very cool, very cool.
Stealthily and dispatching as many people as
So
possible.
you're going to roll your weapon skill. And you know what? In this particular case, thanks to Radagast, I'm actually going to give you a boon So what that means is you're going to roll twice and take the highest roll, or the lowest. Sorry,
Okay.
that's me thinking D&D. The lowest roll.
Okay. Now, is that a... Sorry, I'm trying to figure my way through this. Is that a
so on your
D...
on your sheet, you should be. If you bring up
8?
your character sheet, you should be able
Yep.
to just click the skill, and it will roll.
Oh, hang on,
So in this
that doesn't
case, if you're attacking with like
work. Attributes and abilities? Is that right?
So
I see weapons.
under
see-
skills, you have to click on the actual skill name to highlight, not the number.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You see your
knives?
skills? Yeah, knives could be it. Yep. So you could roll knives. Is good. You got 2 long knives.
No, okay. I'm sorry, I've never used this.
Yeah, no worries.
D20
No
thing,
worries.
so-
Yeah. It's a new. It's a new system, and new software.
So not on my character sheet, on attributes and abilities. Is that right?
No. So open up. So if you're looking at your character sheet,
Yep.
you see where it says knives. Just literally click on the word knives.
On the character sheet under skills, there'll be weapon skills. Should have a knives listed there.
Yep.
It's alphabetical order.
Yeah, it's just making me edit it.
Are you in
Oh,
weird.
attributes and abilities? You need to be under the character sheet tab.
Oh, yeah, there's 3 tabs
Yeah, I
at
am.
the top.
Did that work?
Yes, it did.
I had clicked. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dave.
I clicked it just to make
Okay.
sure it worked. Yeah. You could also just type /R D20. That's fine.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Or
Oh,
you can roll real
goodness me.
dice. Doesn't matter to me.
Were you hovering over the word knives or the number?
Hang on a minute. That's it. Hang on a second. So I'm rolling 2 of them. Is that right?
Yep. Just click it twice,
Oh,
or
worked.
you can roll 2d20, or you can
I
go
found it. I was
/R.
clicking
Oh
on the
yeah,
wrong
you did.
thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
not
So
did
great,
it.
great. Those. Yeah. So you got a 2. So that is if you roll a 1 as a critical, so that's almost a critical. So you are executing this almost flawlessly as you move in and out, and your long knives are flashing in the fog, and the warriors are kind of not even seeing who has slain them, are falling to the left and the right. Radagast. Fog is rolling in. You can hear the sound of battle. You know that there are 2 orcs in your vicinity. You can hear them. What's with the fog? I don't know, but I can smell them. Says Radagast.
Yeah, Radagast will sigh probably, and he will spend another couple of willpower points, on ensnaring roots.
Okay.
So tree roots that are on the side that they were going away from, they were already leaving from. Those will spring up, obviously targeted on those 2 particular orcs in general, but also just trying to ensnare the others that were, so with the expectation that these humans and elves would note the advantage and leave with him, because obviously there's no particular reason in fighting. So he'll head away from those that get snared, and expect the humans and the elves to follow.
Right. Give me a roll. So you do have a skill on your character sheet called animism. I believe I called it that, or just magic. So it's just you have to roll less than a 16 essentially. Oh my god!
I think that counts.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my
Oops,
God,
made my
awesome.
chair just- That is amazing. So a 1. Oh cripes. Okay. So suddenly there's a cry from the orcs as roots come up and not only just kind of trip them or kind of minorly impede them, but actually completely restrain them. They're going, "Hey, the trees are attacking us! Oh, we'll get an axe." And you can actually hear the goblins. So the men of Rudor, they're out of the forest. They're kind of on the road. But I'm actually going to say that this one action takes out those 2 orcs and takes out every goblin that's in the forest. So all of the archers in one fell swoop are essentially taken out of the fight. They're entangled. I am going to ask you. You'll have to think about how Radagast would deal with this. I'm actually going to give you the option not to entangle them, but to strangle them. Would you go that far?
Unlikely. I don't think so.
Okay. So they are completely entangled. So Roquin, OCL, go ahead.
So she'd be spending most of her time blocking the arrows coming in. If my assumption would be at some point in time an elf or one of the enemy humans would be nearby. Would that be possible?
Oh yeah, you get. I mean, there are more men than your soldiers can handle. So yeah, you're quickly, your defenses are quickly kind of broken through, and soon you find yourself in a hand-to-hand struggle. The princess at your side, she's not shying away. She's not a princess that kind of cowers. She has her spear. She has trained, and so she's standing at your side, ready to fight. So
I'd be mostly trying to protect her, and that would seem kind of run-of-the-mill, like knocking arrows aside, slashing at incoming enemies. But then there would be a moment where I would see an elf getting surrounded. And there's arrows coming in. He's defending. Don't know the elf. Don't know if it's any of these guys, or it's just a random elf from my point of view. And I see an attack coming in, and I would jam my sword through my shield to protect at least one flank of the princess, and then I would dive with my knife to take out the incoming human that's going to attack the elf that he won't be able to defend against.
Okay. All right, give me a roll.
Figure knives for that.
Sure. Yeah. You just pick one that kind of summarizes the whole thing. So yeah, that's good. So geez, a 5. You guys are rolling really well. So just exactly as you described, you come in, you can see there's these elves just come out of nowhere. They come out of the fog. They're fighting very efficiently, the flashing of their swords. Some of them are even firing arrows at point blank range, but one of them was going to be flanked, and you managed to sweep in and save the elf's life. And Celebrian, what's she doing in all this chaos?
So Celebrian was calling her warriors to charge forward. Are they all on foot, or are they cavalry?
They did. They would be. They would probably be on foot.
No worries. In that case, I'll charge forward on my horse. Am I on a horse?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you would
seeing
have a horse,
Caledon sneak into the shadows doing what he does, I will charge forward on my steed, and I'll stand up on my stirrups and load like 5 arrows and throw them at the front barrage of hillmen to strike them down, and then draw my sword and cut a swath through them so the warriors can pour through the masses.
So would you ride down the entire length of the caravan?
Yes.
Like firing as you go, firing and flashing as you go. Very cool.
Yeah, with my hair blowing behind me and my guards.
Give me a roll. So just like Caledorn, because of Radagast's fog, the elves kind of got an element of surprise. So you will be rolling with a boon. So you're going to roll twice and take the lowest roll.
Oh, not as good as my compatriots.
Still half decent. You've managed to execute what you've said, So as you're driving, as you're kind of riding down, you can actually see Osiel save one of your elven warriors' lives, and the two of you, in the fog in the battle, the two of you actually kind of lock eyes and see each other. And again, Osiel, you're looking at this beautiful elven warrior on this beautiful horse. It kind of rears up, surrounded by fog, and you don't know where they came from, but they are most welcome. So I'm going to. So one of the things that I would like everybody to do is to make an evade roll, in this melee, and I will give you all. Well, let's just see if anybody rolls, if anybody fails. So Celebrian, none. So we have Caledorn. So Caledorn, I am going to give you an advantage on that, or boons. So you can roll that a second time. Oh, perfect. Not Radagast. You don't really have to. You're kind of not really in the middle of the fight. And did you make it curses?
I got even, so I don't know if I got equal to my evade.
Even is good. Even is good. So no real injuries. Because of Radagast's awesome roll, and the elves arriving in the fog, it was kind of brilliant strategy, and really the rolls really went well for you. The hillmen are routed. They're not slaughtered or completely, but they will. Most of them are on foot. Lord Baranor is on horse. They will flee. They're going to ride off.
Cheer in victory. Raise my sword.
Leaving.
Checking on the princess.
Yep, she's fine. She'll nod towards you. You can see that there is a dead hillman at her feet. She's probably a little bit of a look of probably a little bit of she's probably a little bit rattled, because to your knowledge she's never slain anyone before. This is her first battle and her first kill. But she nods to you and she holds it together. Obviously there's the cry, there's dead and dying men around.
That traitor. I didn't know he would be the one. I thought maybe the other. That Caravan.
Do you think he acted alone? Or do you think...
No. He would never dare act alone.
Rudar has betrayed us. And that, that hits pretty heavy. But she looks up at Celebrian and she's like, How? How have you come to be here?
Do not let it be said that the elves abandon men in their time of need. I ride from Rivendell with the blessing of Elrond. You have the elven bow and swords and our hearts, but the darkness in the north requires us to work together as one once more.
I believe you've just saved our lives. We owe you a debt. And she'll kind of do a nod. And of course, Radagast, as you come walking, Caledorn, you're there, so you guys can just jump in whenever. You don't need to wait to be queued. But Radagast, you hear the princess say this. You know who she is. You're probably familiar with the major players. You know that she's the heir of Isildur. But when she thanks the elves for saving her lives, there's a part of you goes, well, I had a hand in that, but he might, I don't know, you probably are humble.
Yeah, Radagast is not going to feel threatened by that. He was probably just hoping everyone would escape. Unfortunately, they kept fighting, so he's probably more disappointed about their violent tendencies than he is any lack of credit being given.
So Caledorn, you notice Radagast. He is a wizard. He's known to you. He's probably not as well known to most people as someone like Mithrandir or Gandalf, but you've seen him because he's been, as I mentioned, he's been to the halls of Thranduil and has been thrown out of the halls of Thranduil.
Greetings. It's the most honorable time to meet.
Radagast leans on his staff and says, "Well, I think we probably should get going then. There's no point in inviting more unpleasantness."
The princess notices Radagast for the first time, looks towards Lociel, and she's like, "Is that a wizard?"
I believe it is. He looks a bit ready. I thought they would look more angelic.
And Radagast just wanders off in the direction that we were already going.
Wizard, I am Princess Aranel. It is good fortune that our paths have crossed. Why are you here for a purpose?
I happen to be moving this way. It seems that one of my colleagues may be around here somewhere. It would be good to speak with one of my kind.
Another wizard?
It's what I heard. Who knows? Maybe he's left already.
So she'll look towards Celebrian, and I'm just going to drag you over to the map of Arnor. So this is Rivendell, kind of right in the middle. You are here on the east-west road in the Trollshaws. So there's a great forest to the north. Bruinen River goes to the south. And essentially, this is Rudauer territory for the most part. Fornos is over here. This is where you come from. And so Amon Sûl, which is Weathertop right here, that is where the council is going. But just here in this area is the Elven. So I guess Radagast is the Elven ruin of Eltharion. All of the elves would probably be familiar with it. However, they wouldn't be aware at this time that it's a problem. I guess Radagast, you would be the only one who would be aware that perhaps it has fallen, that something is brewing there that has fallen under shadow. So the princess, well, I guess, so this is where your group, I guess you're kind of this loose fellowship on the road, but the princess probably looks towards Celebrian and Radagast and is like, "What? We have been betrayed. Rudor is clearly an enemy. What direction should we take? What should we do?"
Unfortunately, the shadow darkens the mind of men. Help us, Radagast. Where should we aim our spear to strike at this darkness?
This other wizard you speak of, is he close?
I have the only limited information. I was told that he is close, but the creatures are not terribly good at describing their perspectives to one such as yourselves. So, and he kind of indicates what he knows from his earlier from the conversation with his earlier friend, and he shares it openly.
Knowing of the, you said there was a structure known to the elves nearby that could be. Did you suggest that there could be a shadow over that structure?
Yeah. So it's an elven outpost that goes by the name of Eltharion. So it was an outpost of Eregion a long time ago. When Eregion was destroyed by Sauron in an attempt to recover the rings, the outpost was also destroyed. The elves would know that Celebrian, who created the Rings of Power, when Aragorn fell, he was taken by Sauron and tortured. It is rumored that, although not certain, that it is to Eltharion where Sauron took Celebrian and tortured him to basically get him to tell him the secret of the rings. So it has a dark history. Elves probably don't go there, so neither of you would probably have ever have been there. You may have looked at it from a distance, but you know, it has some bad memories associated with it. But yeah, so apparently, according to Radagast, an evil has moved into it.
What do you think, Radagast? Perhaps we should bring our forces to bear together there.
I would prefer not to see any more violence than you need, than you already bring to this world. But if you must, you must. I will simply advise that I don't see the need for you to butt heads at this moment.
Only the wise, such as you, Radagast, would see a path that does not end in blood. But know this, that we will be ready, and we will not hesitate to strike, should we be threatened. What do you say, Caledon? Shall we travel to a land, a place we have not seen and only heard of?
My arrow follows your guidance.
The princess will look towards everyone, probably Lothiel more than others. She will say, "The men of Rudor have failed in their task. Are they defeated, or are they likely to return?"
I do not believe that would be their full force. But with the elves and the wizards, we should move forward with watchful hearts.
All right. Going towards Eltharion will actually take you off the road. You have to travel through the forest toward the ruin. So at least gives you some cover. But now there are some wounded. There's the wagons. There are still some soldiers left from Arthedain, although over half of their number have been slain. A few elves have been slain, but most of them are fine, thanks to Caledon. So in terms of the broader company, are you all traveling together, or are you giving them different orders?
I would think we would all travel together.
Yep.
Okay.
Caledon would probably maybe take the lead with some tracking.
Scout.
To pick up anything.
Can the wagons travel across country?
They cannot. No. So the wagons will have to be abandoned.
So just to clarify, we're heading to something in the Trollshaws?
Yeah, so I'll just bring you back here. So this is the east-west road. The ruin is just in the northern tip of this little forest here.
And this is where we're having a meeting.
No. So the meeting with your the princess's father is in Amon Sûl at Weathertop. So you've been attacked on the road. You're in basically enemy territory. Yeah, so I'm actually, this is where I guess the sandbox of it comes in. You can go wherever you want. You are in danger. So Rudor has clearly joined the enemy. You're in their territory. Yes, they have suffered a defeat. But they obviously want you dead, and they obviously want the princess. So they're likely going to do whatever they need. They might be watching the road would be an obvious one. But you have come upon Radagast, and there is this rumor of an evil that has entered this elven ruin just north of the road in the forest. So the question is, do you want to see to what that evil is? Do you want to deal with it, knowing that it could be a threat? Or do you want to do something else? That's up to you guys. You can just kind of talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I'll wait for the prince and princess and Isiel to decide what they want to do with their caravan. They will have to send that onward to their destination, I assume.
The caravan, so abandoning the caravan isn't a great loss. Caravan is going to be pretty easy, so I guess I would say, in regards to the caravan, it is going to be pretty easy to spot and pretty easy to follow. So if you do have any pursuers, the caravan is going to be the least stealthy option. So you could just abandon it. Or you could use it as a distraction. You could send some of your soldiers to continue on to see if it draws the attention. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
How many are we in total?
I'm going to say that left. I'll say there's about. So this was not just soldiers. So I'm going to say there's about 8 soldiers left, and then about a dozen people. They're basically workers, like caravan drivers. Stewards, things like that. And then there's about the company of elves number about 10 in number.
Okay. That's not a terrible amount. Yeah, we could guide them through the woods would probably be good. If we have agreement amongst our new little council we have here now.
Fellowship.
Rudar has betrayed us. Their knives were at our table, and now they're at our backs. We cannot stand divided while the shadows gather in the old elven ruins.
Nice. All right.
Elves, wizard, and men, their strength is in our binding. Forward, let's hunt the evil.
Wise words, Yosiel.
Hunt the evil. So Caladorn is going to lead the way. I guess my question is, Radagast, is he traveling as they enter the forest? Is he traveling with this group, or is he still just happen to be going in the same direction?
I think at this point he would probably have been intrigued by by what's going on, by what's what's reducing the wildlife in the area, and the rumor of the wizard. So going to the ruin makes some sense. So he'd be interested in doing that. And if these guys happen to be doing the same thing, then he'll go with and along with them at the same time.
Okay. I am going to remind. So as I mentioned, you are in enemy territory. I am going to remind you of item, the Palantir at Amon Sûl. So the Palantir is a seeing stone. Essentially how it works is like a telescope. So you have to actually look in the right direction, but anybody looking in the stone can basically see up to 500, basically 500 miles, I think, in any direction. And probably Lossiel would be the only one who understands the current politics of it. So there are 3 seers at Amon Sûl, one from Cardolan, one from Rudauer, and one from Arthedain. And because each kingdom is paranoid about the other spying on them, which the way they could do with the Seeing Stone, each seer is responsible for one kind of area of the compass. So you are in Rudauer. Normally, if, for example, the seer of Arthedain or Cardolan, if they could look in this direction, they might have seen the attack. They might have seen what is going on. But the only person, based on the current agreement, who kind of knows what's going on would be the seer from Rudauer. So not only do you have the current threat of whatever is here and around you, you do have someone with a magic crystal ball, essentially, who could possibly see every move. Now, I will note the Seeing Stone can't see through weather, can't see through fog, can't see through trees, so the forest will actually protect you from it. But if you're on the open road and they think to look in that direction, you could be spotted. So I guess Lossiel, you and the princess would be the only ones who really understand this. So travel. So you went to the forest, and with Radagast and the elves with you, I'll say it's relatively easy going. So Radagast, you actually, I'm not going to make you spend willpower points or anything. You actually can find the easiest path. It's almost like a path creates itself before you and then closes behind you. So everybody, you all find that you can actually move through the forest at good speed, basically almost the speed as if you were walking along the road, thanks to the wizard, although he probably never mentions it and never brings it up. But the going does become easy. You'll reach the northern edge of the Troll Shaws, and as you look out of the forest, so it's just outside of the forest on the plains. Not too far, maybe less than maybe about a kilometer outside of the forest. You see the ruin of Altherion.
Jeepers.
There are fires burning about it, various sizes. Some are torch-like fires. Others are maybe like fire bonfires or fire pits. And there is a bit of a stench to the smoke. I would allow anybody or ask anybody if you want to make a myths and legends roll, if you have the skill, or if you don't, you can still make a roll. Celebrian.
Ah,
Nice. Oh my God. Roquin, Lothiel, yeah. So has
I give
Lothiel
a summary, but then ECL gives the details.
Yeah. Has Lothiel fought orcs before?
yes, I believe so.
All right. So you remember a battle. Orcs had made an incursion north of Fornos. They had actually. There are villages. So at this point in time, I mean, at the time of the Lord of the Rings, the north is pretty uninhabited. But at this point in time, there are villages. So Lothiel, you would have ridden out with a force of knights after hearing rumors of an orc attack on a village. And you would have found the village in flames. And the smell is what you remember. So there is a substance which basically people refer to as orc tar. It's a black tarry substance. And when you light it, it burns for days. And the smell of that smoke, you're smelling it now. So as you look at this ruin, you realize that those fires are basically orc tar. So if you think about, if you had a bucket of tar, you could literally just slather it on a wall, fill a hole with it. It's basically like molasses or like tar putty, and you just light it on fire and it just burns for days. Orcs sometimes like to pour it over people and light them on fire, but yeah, so that's the smell that you get.
But she would immediately be under her breath, but enough that everyone around her could hear. Those flames are no campfire. Orcs mark their path with burning, and that reek, the orc tar, clings to the air. We should keep low and draw our blades.
Very cool. So the company, you're a relatively large group. A lot will hunker down in the forest. So you'll have to decide. We'll say it's probably let's say it's a couple hours. Well, by the time you got to the northern of the forest, I'm going to say it's about an hour before dusk. So the sun is low. It's probably a gray day, so it's not necessarily bright and sunny. Elves, I will say all of the elves, because they have farsightedness, you do notice orcs. They are basically, you'll notice them in and amongst the ruins. Not many of them. So this isn't a fortress by any means. It's not. You might spot maybe half a dozen, and they don't appear to be overly. They're not alert. They're not overly attentive. So it's not like they're standing at attention, watching the surroundings. You just probably see them more like moving from one place to another.
I'll ask Caledon.
How do you want to?
Caledon, with your scouting and your eyes, what is a way in? I believe a frontal assault may not be the best advance here.
If I take a moment, am I able to gauge roughly how many orcs there are?
Yep. Why don't you give me either an awareness or a spot hidden? Let's pick whichever one is better. Oh my God, you guys are rolling like crazy, dude. Jeez. So I'll say you can. So again, elves can see. I looked it up. So their vision allows them to see 10 leagues. So that's 30 miles. So their vision is really good. It's obviously a taller structure, but you can climb up a tree. You can just perch yourself into the top of a tree and look over at the ruin, watch it for a bit, and so you can note a couple of things. So one is maybe half a dozen of these orc archers, again, not attentive, moving about. They're oddly enough, they're at the ground level. They're not up in the. They're not like, they don't appear to be concerned. You will note a group of, for lack of a better, refugees or people. They're kind of all on the ground. They look shackled. They're not really doing anything other than the fact that they're prisoners. And you will note someone else moves. You just catch a brief glimpse of them as they pass from, pass across an opening in the ruin. And you see this figure, and he is accompanied by 2 orcs, not goblins, orcs, and they wear the iron armor of Angmar. So you see this gentleman.
Who sees
they
this?
Walk over and they. This is Caledon. So you see that they walk over. They are standing. So in the middle of this ruin is a pit. It's a hole in the ground. You see that they walk over. This man in black walks to the edge of the pit, and he'll point to one of the prisoners or one of the refugees, and the 2 orcs will go over, grab them, and throw them into the pit. And he watches for a bit and then disappears out of sight.
Who got thrown into a pit?
One of the refugees.
What do you see, Caledon?
I'm going to relay what I've just seen.
Yep.
That I've seen approximately 12 orcs not really seeming to be paying attention, so we might be able to... We could perhaps ambush them, although there is refugees. There seems to be people that are being held hostage. There is also 3 other figures. I can't remember the name of the armor that I recognize the armor, but I'll describe it.
Right there. So basically,
and say that they're throwing the refugees into the pit.
They threw one of them into the pit. Yeah. And just a correction, there's only half a dozen goblins.
Okay.
Half a dozen goblins plus the 2 orcs, not a full dozen. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Radagast. So you all have this information now.
If there are orcs afoot, we must act.
Sorry, because you rolled so well, I'm going to give you one extra bit of information. You did notice the up against the tower, there's a bunch of barrels of orc tar.
Is this close to the refugees?
No, it wouldn't be. It would be away from them. It's up against the tower, not near the hole. I'll put all these guys out just so you can remember.
Yeah.
There, and then we have the refugees.
Where was the hole in reference to the tower?
The hole. So I'm just gonna. The hole will be basically right here
Okay.
in the middle. There's just they dug a hole. Yeah. Should
How
have
many
a map.
orcs did you see, Caladorn?
2 orcs and approximately 6 goblins.
That's it.
Is that right?
We can.
Yep.
We can take them. We must free the refugees, but we should be wary that they don't have something darker at the hand.
Is there a way to them,
I would guess they
Caladorn,
can-
that we can strike unseen with the element of surprise?
Most certainly, I could create a distraction, I believe. Perhaps I might blow up those barrels.
Oh, interesting.
If-
Yep.
If if it's been described what it is, Orc Tower, and if I knew what the Orc Tower would do, I'd most probably try and light an arrow on fire and launch it at those barrels.
I mean, if asked, Huinard would definitely give all the knowledge she has on them.
Yeah, we can assume that you're just sharing. You've shared whatever knowledge. What's Radagast thinking? What's he doing?
He's found some interesting fungi.
With the wizard here, he could probably strike them all down without us doing anything.
Perhaps you can summon
Radagast,
the fog.
Radagast looks over and you. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
Goes back to looking at the fungi.
Is Aranel, so probably Celebrian, who as the kind of the senior person here, she's like, are all wizards like that?
I would just shrug and put my arms up in the air. That's the first one I've seen.
I'll say their wisdom
sure
is
he's
beyond
wizards?
our knowledge. Their knowledge is vast and infinite. We must look to them if we are to succeed against this darkness.
Are you sure?
I've never been more sure. Secretly doubting in my mind.
Okay.
So approaching the tower again, the distraction is a great idea. There's a fair amount of orc tar there, so that would cause a fairly big fire. You could also, you could try to just sneak towards it as well. That would basically, it's because they're not being overly attentive. You'll just have to make a stealth roll essentially.
I'm not especially good at sneaking.
A sneaking roll for someone to get there.
Maybe a small force should sneak forward after Caladorn provides the distraction, and then we can signal for the others to join.
Yeah. So your most of your soldiers can stay in the forest, and the princess will say, "Do you think that is a good idea, wizard? What we have proposed?"
I think, unfortunately, creatures have a habit of making it unpleasant for each other. Perhaps if I was to raise the fog again, it might help you achieve what your aim. Achieve your aim with a little less bloodshed. If you can get in without being seen, perhaps that might be of assistance.
Then it is done. Every second we hesitate, another of the refugees suffer. Let us go, Caladorn.
And Radagast nods and starts to raise that same fog as you experienced earlier on in the day.
Okay. All right.
Which will give which will give those of you sneaking a boon.
Yeah.
Celebrian's ready.
So that means if anybody wants to sneak close to the tower, you before the arrow is fired, you could do that to get yourself in position.
Yep.
So
And
if we
even
get a
if you
boon, that
don't-
means we put a 1 in the boons, and then it'll automatically give us rolling with advantage.
yeah, it should. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh.
normally we'd have a 0 in the boons.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You want us to roll
So
anyone who's sneaking?
If
So-
you're sneaking before the fire is lit, then yes.
With the boon for the
just-
fog.
Yeah.
So
With the
Hunnard,
boon for the
Hunnard
fog.
would definitely sneak away from everyone. She would make some statement like, "It takes but one unquiet step to betray us all. Stealth is a chain, and the weakest link breaks it." And she would say, "We must scatter."
Oh, very cool.
So
Oh,
that
so
if
you're
one
all
is
coming
found,
in
we're
from-
not all found.
All coming from different directions. That's cool.
That's her
Hey,
idea anyway.
So the princess, do you want her to go with you,
No,
or is she going on her own? Okay, all right. Or do you order her to stay? I guess. Yeah. How do you deal with the princess?
can I do that? I don't think I can order the
Well,
princess to stay.
No, you can't. I guess.
You could ask her to stay with Radagast, because Radagast won't be particularly interested in causing violence.
Princess, please stay with the wizard where you will be safe, and I will go off in our stead as a representative to kill these loathsome beasts and free our
But-
people.
Is it not my duty as well to see an end to this evil?
I am your sword and your shield. I will do it for you.
She thinks about it, and then she'll nod. She'll say, "I welcome. I welcome your fellowship, wizard." She will. So, and she'll step over by your side, whether Radagast notices or finds, but she'll stick close to him.
Yes, from somewhere deep in his pockets, he'll pull out a biscuit and offer it to her.
Oh. She'll give him a smile and take it. Meanwhile, Celebrian is like as a ghost into the towards the ruin. Caladorn, I assume you're going to hang back a little bit to fire the fire arrow.
Do I need to?
No, you
Is
don't
it-
need
is
to.
it-
No, you no. You
If
go
I could,
forward,
if I
you
could
just-
sneak closer and
Yeah.
and launch that as we're within range of setting a proper.
Yeah,
ambush,
go ahead.
then,
Go ahead. You just have to give me a sneaking roll if you're going to go forward before you fire the arrow. Yeah. But you'll probably make it. That's good. And I see, Bernard, you failed it. But
I
did you roll with a boon, or did it count as a boon? I don't know.
I tried to, but it doesn't seem like it went through, so I'll just roll
Oh
again.
yeah, okay. Yeah, just roll again. Oh my god. The Calador
Either way.
rolled a 2. He did. Alright. The elves are swift. And they make their way towards the citadel. And Roquin, yeah, I mean obviously, you've got chainmail armor on. Sneaking isn't necessarily your forte.
I warned them.
Well, you know what? You might end up being a second distraction, as you'll actually hear one of the goblins will suddenly stand right up. He looks directly out in your direction, and he's like, "Hey, I think one of the humans escaped." Now several of the goblins are looking in that direction, so Celebrian, you and Caladorn, you can get right there. You can Calderon, you can fire your arrow whenever.
Well, I want to
and,
say to Caledon, I want to say, Yosiel has provided the distraction. Let us make our way to the head of the snake. I'm going to head. I'm beelining to Malagant.
All right. I just want to check in with Radagast. So Radagast, how much are you paying attention to, how much is Radagast going to be paying attention to this? The princess is she's like, her eyes are fixed on the tower.
No, he'll be allowing her to. And so she's obviously attracted to that. He'll keep an eye out on anything and everything of interest around him at the in the same sort of non-specific way that he is attached to the world in general. So it won't. The humans and the elves are doing what they do to the orcs, and the orcs are trying to do what they do to the humans and the elves, and he'll be taking in the rest of the world.
It's a tale as long as time.
All right. Well, the princess, you know what? As you're looking at your fungus, the princess, she gives you a quizzical look, and she's like, I don't understand you, wizard. How can you just stand there while they put their lives in peril?
They were created, and so were the orcs and the goblins.
The orcs are evil. They attack us relentlessly. We are just defending ourselves.
My care is for the rest of the world. I will stand in the way when it's necessary, but the task falls to others often. My task is to take care of that which they are, that which is natural.
She actually, I don't know whether Radagast cared, but you actually see a look of disappointment on her face. And you hear her, she says as she turns her eyes back towards the tower, and she's like, I would have expected more from a wizard.
Ooh,
and she'll turn and look forward. But you're right. I mean, I have to say, you're playing Radagast awesomely. But I have to play her. So we will. So let's get into the action here. I have my auto initiative tracker. Let's roll. Okay, so the goblins will say, I can't be bothered going to get it. Why don't we just shoot it? Yeah, let's shoot it. And so the goblins are now all basically extra bowl of gruel to whoever hits it first. And so they got their bows. They're obviously so Lostiel, you're still a little bit away. You can charge, but you see the goblins are now lining up with their bows, ready to take a shot at you. But based on the initiative tracker, Caledorn is first. So Caledorn, you and Celebrian would be aware of what is happening, of course, with Lostiel. But yeah, what would you like to do?
I don't know if it'll work or function properly. So in the class ability, I've got a twin shot.
Yep.
So would I be able to launch one arrow at the barrel and then launch another one at the goblins lining up to fire?
Sure. Go ahead. Just spend the willpower and make your bow roll.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so you have
two.
Yeah. So it should say there the cost, and you have a willpower down near the bottom
so that
right.
goes to 11. Yeah. And then is this just one straight roll, or is it two rolls?
It's two rolls. Yeah. 11, nice. Awesome.
11,
I think you've got boons stuck on, because whenever you roll, you're rolling two dice and it's taking the best.
Oh, he rolled twice, I think, in that situation because he was attacking twice.
But is it
Yeah,
with
so
boom?
one arrow is going
Is it-
towards the barrels, which I'm going to light on fire. The other arrow is going towards
Yeah.
the...
No,
Well,
he
Gabriel
rolled
says
twice.
they're both rolling 2d20s.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
boon. He's got boon clicked on.
They're both. Oh, okay. That's okay for this. So
Yeah, if you hover over the 11, you can see that there's two rolls behind each of
okay,
these
all right.
11s.
Oh,
All right.
And it's
Yeah.
taken the
Oops.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scrooge brought it to my attention on my early
Sorry.
rolls too.
Should I be rolling that again?
No, we'll just take the first one. Since that was 2 dice, so we'll use those.
But to stop it, you'll have to remove the one from the
Yeah,
boot
yeah, I
from
did
the
that.
cell
I
at
did
the
that.
top of your character sheet. Yeah.
And Tavis, I want you to on your character sheet, you see it how it says character sheet, bio and info, and attributes and abilities.
Yep.
Click on attributes and abilities, and on the right-hand side under abilities, you're going to see woodland bow and long knife. Did you click the
Yep.
show in the macro bar? And that's your damage. So you've hit twice. You don't need to roll damage for the barrel, but you can roll damage for the goblin.
Yep, so I've clicked that. So what do I do then? Sorry.
If you just click, so when you click that on, a button's going to appear down below under the names, and you're just going to click that button for the bow. Oh, geez, look at that. All right. And a goblin is taken out. So just before he's about, he's like, I got her all lined up. And all of a sudden, an arrow hits him in the back of the head, and he flies forward. Next up is Celebrian.
So has the tar pit been set off?
Yeah, so suddenly the orc tar goes up. There is a huge kind of bright explosion. It's not really an explosion. It's almost like an instant bonfire. So it doesn't explode like a bomb. It's just all of a sudden there's a big rush of flame. And the goblins would probably be blinding initially. So they'll all kind of cry out. So Celebrian, you don't see. So basically you'll see kind of inside the ruin near the pit. You see Malagant and the two orcs they're kind of stepping out, looking. Obviously something is going on, so they're attempting to see what is going on.
Can I sneak up behind Malagant, or can I get some surprise attack from a distance? Or if not, I will launch myself down into the pit, scream out, for Rivendell!
I will
Do the launch.
I will give you, if you want to do a ranged, I'll give you surprise on it, so you'll have a boon.
All right, in that case, I will launch a volley of arrows at Malagant with the bird. I'll just click twice rather than use that little one icon, so I don't leave it on.
And that's a hit. So 6. Yep. So roll your damage. Again,
Damage,
I don't know if you have the
Galadriel.
macro.
I've got it all set up.
You have the macro enabled.
9 points.
9. Yeah. All right. He takes the arrow. It knocks his. It knocks him backwards. He's still on his feet, but a nice hit.
And then I'll do a signal to the rest of the elven army. Advance!
So they'll take that. They'll charge from the trees. It will take them a little bit, a few rounds to get there. But yes, you'll actually knock Malagant's helmet off as he reels
awesome.
back. As he reels backwards. Lothiel, you're next. I'll say you can, just for dramatically appropriate, you can, if you run, you can reach the tower.
Oh, I am a shield of the realm, and I would rush with the shield up. Flee before me, goblins.
Very cool. Do you want to make a persuasion roll?
Okay.
To try and intimidate them.
That's a good roll.
Yeah, you guys and your
Oh,
rolls.
wow.
Okay, so with the explosion of the fire, and the goblins realizing, not really understanding what is going on, and then suddenly you rushing forward. You've got a glow. Probably the light of the fire is reflecting off your shield and your armor, so you're kind of this glowing figure charging forward. The goblins will shriek and they're scurrying. Goblins are good at climbing things. They are basically scurrying every which direction. Jeez. I can't get a break.
My way as my best to the main guys.
Okay. So you really only have the orcs and Malagant to deal with. The orcs actually they've got their heavy armor, so they move forward after he's been hit by the arrow. They move forward, and they're probably advancing on you, Celebrian. I'm going to say that they can't get to you this round because you did a ranged attack, but you're clearly a threat. Malagant himself, somebody want to give me a die 6?
Go, Dwight.
5.
Oh, you've
All right.
killed us, Dwight.
Not again.
And give me one more. So 2.
Consistent.
Want to stay
One more D6 to it. Yeah.
consistent, yeah. Stable.
All right.
Stable.
Nice.
Predictable.
Malagant. He staggers back. He sneers as he pulls the arrow out of his shoulder, and he cries out. He is like, "From Ghoul I shall birth a sickness no blade can kill, and no wall can bar against. The kingdoms of men shall choke upon it, and then in the dark watches of the night." And he swings his staff, and he basically swings it against like a piece of rubble that's lying on the ground. There's like a thunderclap sound, obviously kind of a burst of kind of phantom light, and almost like a golf ball, he hits it, and it just comes flying through the air towards you, Celebrian. You will have to make an evade roll.
Evade. Okay. Here we go. Just.
Success. You manage to dodge out of the way as it goes soaring past. Next up is Radagast. So Radagast, you would have heard the thunder clap, probably. Actually, the princess would be like, "Oh," she kind of gasps as she's seeing this from afar. What interesting foliage is Radagast looking at the moment?
Actually, would he have heard any of the shouting in detail?
He would have.
Just...
He would have. Yep. He would have.
So,
yep.
So he would have heard the threat of Malagant to bring down some unspecific but nasty information upon the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plague.
Yeah.
It's called Malagant the Plague Brewer. So.
Yeah, but did he threaten plague specifically?
No, actually, he said the word he used was sickness.
Exactly.
A sickness that no blade can kill and no wall can bar against.
So, would okay, I don't think Radagast is close enough though to actually do anything meaningful to him whilst keeping the princess out of this fight.
I don't want you to feel like you have to babysit an NPC. She's fairly capable. So you can. I mean, Radagast, in seeing this, Radagast is a pretty swift mover. So we'll say, while you may not necessarily do something this round, I'll say it'll only take you a round to get to the tower if that's where you wish to go. A strong wind will come up and suddenly move you along at speed. Type thing. Up to you, though.
No, I think for this round, at least, he will stay where he is. He will look around and consider his options for the moment.
Okay. Rerolling initiative. Lociel, you are up. The goblins have fled. You can kind of mount the ruin or enter the ruin, and one of these orcs will. Everything's pretty well lit. I mean, like I said, you are kind of gleaming in the firelight. One of these orcs will turn towards you and snort.
Face me, orcs. I am Roquen of Amon Sûl. Your doom stands before you. And I would want to use my guardian ability to pull the other one toward me.
Oh,
So
jeez.
the elves have free reign. On the bad
Okay,
guy.
all right. Okay, spend the willpower. That means then when they see the gleaming armor and stuff, they realize you must be just a little waif of an elf over here. You're clearly the most significant threat. So both of them will trudge towards you with their maces. You have initiative, so you can attack first. So here's how. I just want to remind everybody how actions work. You have 2 actions per round. It's your choice whether you want to use them both for an attack. Typically what happens is you'd use one for an attack and one for an evade. But there is the option to use both for an attack, but that leaves you completely open to being hit. So what weapon are you using in this fight?
Oh, the spear.
The spear. Okay, the spear is a mithril spear. Armor does not count against it, so it can pass through. Basically, the armor is useless, so that's very interesting. I didn't think about that when I gave it to you. All right, anyway, go ahead. The 2 of them trudge towards you. So your first strike will probably be a bit of a shock as it slices through their armor like butter. So go ahead, give me a roll.
Can you use 2 powers at the same time, or just 1?
Why not? Sure, why not?
Because I would use Swift Strike as well. Does that come
Okay.
straight off the willpower? That's my attribute?
No, so you have willpower points in the bottom right. So, and you got to think about those as
I see
basically, yep. So basically, that's a finite resource you're going to use up. So,
But I've used 5 to do both those. Okay, and so
Yep.
if I was so I'll attack twice. So if I can attack
okay,
one
Go
of
ahead.
them twice. That's a hit, and that's a hit. Jeepers.
oh my God, jeez. Okay, roll your damage.
What's the damage for the spear? I don't have a button for that one.
Oh, you know what? Just use your lance. I can't believe I'm saying
Okay.
this, but yeah, use your lance. Yeah.
Ooh, 9 and 7.
Oh, not great rolls. Yeah, you managed to strike some wounding blows with the orcs, but not enough to fell them. They are, of course, gun to bad orcs, a little bit tougher than most. Celebrian, you're up next.
Seeing Lociel take the orc guards away, or distract them at least, can I pull back an arrow, notch an arrow, seeing that Malagant is using his arcane magic with the staff? I want to see if I can fire an arrow and hit him in the hands to dislodge his staff, and then I can call out to Caledon to finish him off. The old 1-2 sucker punch.
I would let you do that, but it'll be at a bane, so you're disadvantaged. So you're going to have to roll twice and take the highest roll.
What if I
Your
use
arrow's
both
pretty
actions?
good.
Can I use both actions? Use one action to steady and one action.
Yep.
So I
Yep. That's
don't get a
fair.
bane?
That's fair. Yep. I
Yep.
don't mind. Yep. Absolutely.
And then
That
I'll
also means you
call
don't get
out
a
in
dodge.
Elven.
He
I'll
doesn't-
call out in Elven because it's like a 1-2 punch that elves know. So here we go.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Nelly!
Ooh.
That's not good. Can I do anything to re-roll that? Oh, no.
No, there's not
I
much
hope
you
not.
can do. No. You're gonna.
Did you use both? Were you using both your actions or just one?
I think I had to use both because I was doing
Yeah.
removing
So you
the
get-
bane.
okay. Yep.
Which means you.
Can I
no,
push?
I don't. You know what? I don't think you can because there's no. I know that there are conditions on your character sheet. but I don't think it's like the other Free League games where you can push. To my knowledge, now I could be completely wrong, but I don't remember that being a thing. Okay.
My arrow hits
You
Josiel.
what? Well, no. Your arrow. So basically, he swings his staff. He basically smashes your arrow out of the air with your staff, and I'm giving him a free attack. Basically, Banes are bad. I get to do what I want. So give me a die 6 and see what he does.
Oh, what?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
supposed to do that?
no, sorry. Go. Let Age roll his fate. Roll a die.
Okay, I don't want to roll his fate.
How do I roll? / is it?
Just do that. /R
Yep.
and then D6.
D6.
Give me the space.
4. All right.
The unluckiest number.
That actually is the best number he could have rolled. Can you believe that? All right.
You sound disappointed.
Well, I had so many good options here. Basically, how Dragonbane works is for monsters, you roll a d6, and that determines what they do, the attack that they use. And I had so many awesome ones, and that's basically a normal staff strike. Yeah, so he'll actually block the arrow, and he dives towards you like the Emperor in Revenge of the Sith. So it's like there's this hiss, and he twirls through the air, and he'll smack with the staff, and this is his least damaging attack too. You will take 9 damage. You're going to subtract 3 from it for your armor, so you'll take 6 damage.
6 damage. So.
All right. Next up are the enemies. They actually win, so he gets. I'm actually just for speed. We're coming up on our break here, but I'll actually roll his actions. He's focusing them on you, but I rolled 2 1s. Yeah, so basically Caledorn, you watch as Malagant swings forward, continually using his staff to pound Celebrian back. Celebrian, you've got your bow up. You actually bring your bow up to defend. I'm going to do 2 things here. So one is his first blow, because of what I rolled. I'm actually. Oh, geez, you're using. I just foiled myself. You have a Galadrim bow, don't you?
Yes, I do.
This is a gift from your mother. If it had been any other bow, he would have sundered it. It would have shattered in your hands when he struck it. But because it's a Galadrim bow, I'm going to give you the choice. It can either resist his attack or both the bow and his staff shatter. What do you choose?
Oh. Woo! I will break the bow, but also his staff. Do I know that his staff is what he needs to conjure?
Most wizards' staffs are important. Yeah. Actually, give me I'll tell you exactly if you make a Myths and Legends roll.
Okay.
You made it.
Yep.
His staff is critically important to his powers.
All right. I will have a brief, montage of my mother growing up with her, and her giving me the bow, and then her saying, "You will know, my child, when the time is right." And then I'll let it explode in shards, and then I'll call out to Caledorn, "It worked! Now!"
So Caledorn almost, but and we'll just finish this round, then we'll go on break. Lostiel, did you have 1 action left for an evade?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. So they are not monsters. They actually have to roll to attack. So I'll roll to see if either of them hit. Oh my God! Well, one potential hit and one absolute failure. So here's the deal.
Ruins the others attack.
Well, I'll give you a choice. I'll either let it ruin the other attack, or you can do an evade and roll the dice and try to avoid it, and I'll give you a free attack. What would you like to do?
Free attack.
Okay, so you have to evade. You have your shield.
Oof.
You successfully evaded. So go ahead and deliver your free attack, and then we'll let the other two go, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God! Yeah, you run him through, and the spear goes right through his shield, through his chest plate, out his back, and you pull it out as if it just passed through butter, and the orc collapses to the ground. The other one, seeing that, in the gleam of the fire off the tip of the spear, he takes a step back. But,
I have to be able to say something.
Oh yeah, please.
By the watch of Amon Sûl and the line of Isildur, you've entered a battle already lost. The shield of the realm will erase your shadow from existence.
The orcs are like,
Wow.
what?
Amazing.
I don't speak that language.
That's right. Grr, grr, grr. Yeah. All right, Caladorn. The shield, the bow and the spear, or the bow and the staff, have shattered, throwing both backwards. Malagant is reeling. He's looking in disbelief at the remnants of his weapon.
I'm gonna spend. So I've got two actions. I'm gonna spend both of them attacking, given that I feel like there's only two enemies in my line of sight. So I'm gonna spend the 2 willpower. The first action will be a straight roll. The second one will be a double arrow.
Okay.
Goes down to 9.
Oh, suddenly 3 elven arrows. Are they all against Malagant?
There's 2 against Malagant and 1 towards the orc.
All right. Yep.
So we're rolling for bows. 1. Do I just roll that 3 times?
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, that's 3 hits. Roll your damage 3 times. I don't think you have to. Malagant without his staff is just a man. Yeah, don't. The 3 arrows.
That's what you want.
The 2 arrows perforate him. Give me the damage on the last arrow, just because that's against
18.
the orc. 18. Okay, it does have pretty good armor, but it was already wounded. So it takes the arrow in the neck between the plates of the armor, and the orc collapses forward. Lothiel. Malagant staggers backwards with 3 arrows in him, and he falls backwards into the pit.
Ooh.
Huzzah!
And that's where we're going to take a break. So we'll come back at about quarter after. Does that make sense?
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Beautiful. Be back soon.
Cool thing.
Awesome. Okay. See you then. Bye.
And we're back.
Awesome. So where we left off, Malagant, the plague brewer, brought his staff down. It would have been an awesome impact on you. So he would have done 2d8 plus a d8. He would have done 3d8 damage if you hadn't have had the bow of Galadorn. So the bow explodes into splinters, the staff, and Malagant falls into the pit, leaving the ruin of Eltharion under your control. Radagast, you arrive. You still feel the oppressiveness. You would have seen Maligan fall into the pit. And when he fell into the pit, a noise would have come out of it, a noise of many scurrying feet and many gnawing teeth. And so, Radagast, as you climb up, everybody can kind of assemble around the pit. There are the refugees who are, basically relieved, incredibly relieved that they've been freed. They are people of Rudauer, which is again, so obviously not everyone is on board with whatever is taking place. But as you stand and look down into the pit, Radagast, you can see a mass of writhing at the bottom, and something will actually look up. And with the fire going, kind of that glow reflects in the eyes, and you see a beast. And so the orcs are not actually in the picture. I put the orcs there just for scale. Looking up from the, you basically see that the pit is filled with the pit is filled with a swarm of rats. This is literally a brewing pit for the plague brewer. And in and amongst it is a monstrous rat. It looks up and it'll actually give a hit. You can see Maligan's body is already almost entirely consumed by the swarm. And the swarm is almost like it's being birthed from this thing as it looks up and hisses. Now, it is in the bottom of a pit, but I am really curious. This is I want to throw this over to Radagast. I know everybody's probably tempted to attack or what have you, but how does Radagast respond to this?
Is it unnatural?
It is. It was. No, it's actually pretty. No, so basically, to remind you that Morgoth and the servants of Morgoth, so Sauron, the Witch King, basically the servants of darkness, they cannot create. So they cannot create life. They cannot create things. They can only warp them through dark sorceries. So these rats were natural at one point, but they have become warped by the powers of darkness. Just like orcs are warped versions of elves.
And I will just point out to those giggling, because I don't blame them. It could be a natural creature down here that he hasn't seen before. This is after all, a world that has dragons in it and other and spiders and that would perhaps.
Sure.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think he's going to attempt to have a conversation with it, see if it's capable of actually holding any.
The princess. So whatever. So Radagast all of a sudden begins speaking down into the pit. The princess will arrive as well. The others will come forward. And yeah, so just before we get to Radagast and his conversation with Ghoul, the Black Hunger, what's everybody else doing?
Caliban's most likely collecting arrows and cleaning equipment and checking in with Celebrian to make sure she's okay. And the rest of the party. In fact,
Celebrian nods, and I'll use my swift recovery to restore some healing.
All right.
Yasiel is beheading the orcs and making sure everybody's safe from anything in the distance.
Right. So Princess Aranel is captivated by Radagast's attempts at communication. So what do you want to say? It looks up. What do you say to it?
Hello, friend. Are you still hungry?
It'll look up at you. So this would be a conversation only between Radagast and the Beast and Rathgul. It's speaking Beast, and Radagast would be speaking Beast, so nobody else really understands it. But it would look up and it would say, "Hunger is eternal."
Where were you before those who captured you put you here?
It would say, "Memories before forgotten, memories of when I was weak, powerful and strong. I will consume."
It is okay to consume to survive, but it isn't. But it cannot be. But you must have a place in the order.
I need to obey his will. The place to bring black is a blade for the land. He may rule.
This could take a while. I think out of character, this would take a while.
So let's go. So here's what I'm going to do.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure your voice will. I'm not sure your voice will handle going as long as I can.
Everybody else rests. Everybody else is kind of resting. You're standing there. The princess thinks this is folly. In fact, she'll even say that to Laciel. She's like, "Whatever he's doing, it's a fool's errand." But I'm not going to say that it's a fool's errand. There's a blackness, there's a power that's within Rathgul that is corrupting it. It is the power of the Witch King. And through his servant, Maligant the Plague Brewer. If you can explain to me the path that you want to lead this conversation on, and ultimately what your goal is, I will give you a roll on something. So just kind of explain to me what you hope to accomplish. And this is going to take all night. So as the sun rises in the morning, what is your hope?
His hope initially is to understand what was done to the creature in such that he might possibly take back the steps that was done essentially to cure it. As a player, I don't expect that actually to be reasonable within the context of the game and the situation. But that's where I believe Radagast would be. This is a sickness that has been forced upon this creature.
Well, you are a Mire. Right, so basically one of the most powerful creatures in Middle-earth, and you are someone who is a nurturer of nature. And I'm assuming, again, not a lot of details are provided on Radagast, but I'm assuming that one of the things that falls under his control is the healing of nature.
But he was never able to heal the spiders from Mirkwood, as an example.
No,
right?
That's right. No, he wasn't. No, absolutely. So here's what. So basically, the compromise is there's two entities here. There is Rathgul, the Black Hunger, and then there is the Rat Swarm itself. So perhaps Rathgul has been twisted and tortured and shaped over years into the abomination that he is. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the rats are not beyond saving. So that could be an interesting compromise.
And so what I think I would suggest is that as dawn rises, Radagast would use his power to call on the light of Yavanna. You had originally written it as the Flame of Arnor, but that doesn't work for Radagast, right? Because he doesn't.
Oh yeah,
have the ring or
that's the
anything.
only thing that's the only thing they have in the. I took that from the Decipher rulebook, but yeah, you're much
So I'd like, if you don't mind, to reflavor that to a light of Yavanna, which would then carry the same risk as in revealing location, because it is a large pull. But as the dawn rises, I think he rises from the conversation, rises from his attempts to deal with the Wrathghoul, and instead will call upon the heavens and call upon Yavanna to shine her light directly into the pit, and spend the 10 willpower to call upon her, and shine that down.
So basically, as the sun rises, the rays of the sun perfectly hit this window up here, which elven, of elven design, and reflect off of it and down into the pit. It will cause. So I would probably argue that Wrathghoul is kind of like a Sheila. Wrathghoul is probably beyond saving, but as Wrathghoul, will basically shrivel in the light, being reduced perhaps back to basically a basic rat form, but the rest of the actual pack itself, whatever darkness is within them, will be burned away by the light. You can literally watch it evaporate like a dark fog that rises and fades, and everybody can witness this. And as it ends, the swarm will actually scurry up and out of the pit, and away in through the grasslands. And as the light fades, the princess who was watching the entire night, you see her across the other side of the pit, and she's like, I had thought you a fool. She'll say, she will say, now I know I was thoroughly mistaken. You are a powerful wizard. How does everybody else react to this?
Do not be so hard on yourself, princess. As I said, the wizard is beyond our years and understanding.
What about Laciel and Caledorn? Do you have a reaction to this?
Caledorn's kind of, I guess he's a little bit indifferent, as he's had maybe have some sort of small dealings and knows the wisdom and power of the one known as Radagast.
Indeed. What about Laciel?
I think she would be watching. There'd be a certain amount of wonder, but also gauging the potential danger of Radagast if he was to ever turn on them.
Typical human.
All right, well, his magic is obviously not about displays of power. Even though this was a display of awe, that light wasn't, it wasn't an attack. It was more of an act of healing. So, yeah, I mean, he's obviously eccentric, but you don't sense any evil from him. In fact, quite the opposite. Now, maybe there could be some indifference, but no, that light is pure, and so too is his heart.
She would just be analytical about the situation.
Yep.
She wouldn't have anything to say to anyone.
So as the sun rises, those of you who are elves So Eltharion is. I'm just going to go back to the map for a second. So Eltharion is right on the edge of this forest, so it does look north. And I'm going to say that Cameth Bryn, which is the capital of Rudar, to Elves it is within the edge, the limits of their sight. Everybody else, not a chance, too far away. But the Elves can see north across the open lands towards Cameth Bryn. So this is Cameth Bryn. As probably you, so I'm going to say, Celebrian, you probably would have seen it before. You may have even it may not have visited there. It's not a place where elves would go, but you would have definitely seen it before. It's one of the 3 of the larger human settlements. But when you look forward, when you look north towards Cameth Bryn this morning, you see it does not look like that anymore. It looks like that.
Oh, damn.
And at this distance, you can see that this is no longer a fortress of men. It is a fortress of orcs.
I'll, as I gather up the shards of my Galadrim bow, I place it in a leather satchel to return to Rivendell at some stage. I obtain another bow from one of my warriors.
Oh, your soldiers? Yep.
One of my soldiers. And I give them something in return, a piece of Lembas bread, as is the way, for the fair exchange. Yep. And I say to the party, we have quelled but one shadow. More darkness I see north at Cameth Bryn. Do we have the forces amongst us to deal with this?
Oh, no. In fact, so Caladorn, you can see this as well. You will note that not only so you have Cameth Bryn, which appears to be occupied by the forces of Angmar. You'll actually see like companies of orcs moving to the east across the plains, and even as you're watching, not close enough that they would see you, but close enough to make you a little bit uncomfortable, like warg riders are riding across the plains.
So there's
there will
company
be
of orcs.
There will be some thousands of orcs in this area to the north.
So there's some marching to the east towards Mirkwood, and there's some warg riders
Sorry, not to the east,
plains.
to the west, not to the west. They're marching to the west. Sorry, not the east.
Okay, yep.
Southwest. So you described this to everyone?
Yeah, absolutely.
I should say, my God, Princess Ariel. She probably turned toward Lancelot. She's like, "We have been deceived. How long would it take orcs to amass in such numbers? How have we been blind to this?
I do not know, Princess. But
we have been
we have
betrayed
elves
at
and
their
men
heart.
together, and wizards.
Don't you understand? The seer at Amon Sûl has blinded us, has kept
Indeed.
this from my father. My father is going to Amon Sûl. That is where all are gathered. Don't you understand that? I am fearful. I am greatly fearful.
Should we get there to warn them?
She looks towards she looks towards the others. Again, I'll just drag you back. I'll drag you back here. You're right here. Amon Sûl is here. Cameth Bryn is to the north. She's like, I fear we must. Unless the wizard, or she'll now look towards Radagast with respect. Unless the wizard counsels otherwise, I fear that This alliance is in grave jeopardy.
I suggest moving soon then. What I have done will attract some attention. Likely not from orcs, but from some.
All right.
So to Amon Sûl then.
What forces can we expect to aid us there?
Amon Sûl is a fortress. It's a great watchtower. It would have hundreds of men. It's a fortified structure.
Humans?
Human, yeah, it's all human. Yeah, no, there'd be no elves or dwarves or anything, but all human.
Is it an alliance fortress or is it a fortress of
It
one
is.
of the realms?
So basically, it's Arthedain. So it's Arthedain, Cardalon, and Rudauer they all have an agreement to share the stone. Now, given the I would say traditionally the military aspect of it has been Arthedain. So its barracks are filled with Arthedain soldiers. The agreement only extends to the Palantir. So it's not like it would be garrisoned by Rudauer.
We have swept this small shadow aside. We must get back to warn them and make sure that the Amon Sûl is ours. We cannot lose
To the north, far to the north, Cameth Bryn. As you are weighing your options, a cry carries across the wind. And Radagast, that cry, probably the elves plus Radagast, that shriek across the wind. Yeah, even though you're kind of immune to fear, I think all three of you are immune to fear. It does. It will put fear into the hearts of any humans that are here, but you all recognize it as a source of power for the shadow. What do you want to do? You're going to race west towards Amon Sûl.
I think Caledon firstly is going to check in with the survivors, the refugees, and ask them if they have somewhere to go.
They can hide in the woods. They basically, their idea would be to hide in the woods, or maybe travel south try to make it into Cardalon, or they could accompany. I guess they could accompany you to Amon Sûl, but that you might be moving fast. So they're. I would say that if there are still animals in the troll shaws, I would say that with Radagast's sort of blessing, they would be safe here for a time. If you wanted to leave them in the troll shaws in the forest, but that's up to you.
Given what we've seen, we'd probably tell them to move south to safety.
Okay. All right. And so your group is heading. You're going to head west towards Amon Sûl.
That's Yosiel's vote.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right. Okay.
But would note to everyone that we need some potential protection from view of the Palantir, or the seeing stone, she would probably call it. Either fog or stick to the trees as best we can.
Everyone looks towards Radagast. The whole army.
Radagast looks exhausted for the moment.
Give him some bread.
Give him a Coke.
Yeah.
Caledon might offer some aid if he requires any assistance.
He's mobile, etc., but it's just like mechanically. Speaking out of character, mechanically, he's spent a ton of willpower. So I'm putting it down that in character, diegetically, he's obviously drawn a lot from himself, and you can see this to a degree.
Yep. So yeah, and mechanically, how you recover willpower is through a night's sleep, essentially. So you would need to rest for an evening, and then you'd recover it. Even Maiar need to rest on occasion.
What about healing? How does healing work?
Healing. So healing is the same. So if you take a 15-minute rest, you heal a die 6. But if you're an elf, it's 2 die 6. And if you rest for an evening, in Dragonbane, you are fully healed.
So would our willpower points be back to full after the night's rest?
We'll say that they're back to full, except for Radagast because he didn't rest.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it's a multi-day journey to Amon Sûl, so you are going to get a chance to rest. So I won't worry. So I won't worry about too much about that. To Radagast, you will eventually recover. However, because you use that power, you did basically. It's like a beacon, a momentary flash of a beacon of your presence, I think as you race towards Amon Sûl, what your group will realize is that you are being pursued as you race to the east. So the first thing, if you look on the map,
West.
I know you. So I want you to describe. Are you just so obviously the road is going to be the fastest, just racing along the road over the last bridge towards Amon Sûl, but maybe you have another idea. I mean, you mentioned fog and stuff like that. So just describe to me how you are, how you're basically moving, and then how you're going to evade. And here's the curveball I'm going to throw at you. You're being pursued. The elves will catch sight of your pursuer during one of the days. You are being pursued by a single black rider.
What do we know of dealing with them?
Traps or anything to slow it down? Bushcraft or hunting?
Yep. So just you could, So one of the things is to try and conceal your trail. That could be an option. So Radagast, I'm going to say, actually we'll just say elves and Radagast. Everybody give me a myth and legends roll. Celebrian Radagast got it with 4. So you are. I did look this up as to whether or not at this time people knew, those amongst the wise is suspected. So Radagast, I'm not going to confirm it 100%, but you got an excellent roll, and so you are 90% certain that this is one of the 9 pursuing you. So it is a powerful foe. 1, how do you react to that? And 2, so Caledorn is suggesting bushcraft, covering your tracks, going off the trail. Does anyone else? We are going to make a roll as to see whether you can throw this thing off. But do you have anything else to add?
Myself or anyone else?
Radagast in particular. Or anyone else, if anyone else has that idea. But I want to hear, so Radagast will realize that, on the second day of pursuit, dawns upon you that this Dark Rider is one of the 9. It's going to be relentless. How can Radagast assist in throwing it off your trail?
I think of this, I'm not entirely sure. He can, on the basis that he doesn't normally pick fights with creatures of this sort. It's not the kind of thing that he would do.
But this isn't about fighting. This is about avoiding a fight. This is about evasion. So
Yeah.
is what could
I mean,
you imagine?
he would prefer to move into the forest and to part and close the trail behind him, so that we have the advantages, as it were, so that we would be able to travel more quickly through the terrain that's not man-made, and to tangle up the rider in
So
terrain
we have
that's
to leave our horses behind?
unwelcoming to him.
Perhaps we can.
Yeah, I guess I'll throw it over.
Perhaps we can lure the Dark Rider into the forest while the rest of the caravan travels west, and then strike back and meet the group.
I thought you'd sent it down. I thought you'd sent them down south, though.
That was the refugees.
Oh, okay.
Refugees, not the Elven
All right.
fighters.
Not your soldiers, yeah. So here's what I'm going to do, just because, just for time. So basically, with Caledorn's bushcraft, aided by Radagast. So Radagast, you are turning nature against the Dark Rider. It is a creature, is unnatural, and even though it may not necessarily be hindered, because it's an incorporeal being, hindered by things like roots and things like that, its horse absolutely can, and it does need its horse. So I like that idea. So basically, what I'm going to do is give Caledorn a boon from Radagast's leveraging of nature. So give me a bushcraft, Caledorn. It's all going to come down to you. You get 2 rolls.
That's with the boon.
And you make it. I was going to say, if you fail it, this would be very interesting. I was not prepared to necessarily have you fight a Nazgul, but I could do it. You know, nice random Nazgul is a random encounter. That would be that's entertaining. So I'm going to say that you are keeping ahead of it. Whether or not you've completely lost it is uncertain. And Radagast, you feel its presence, like it's there. So as far as you're concerned, it's still a threat, but you don't see it again, or you don't catch sight of it as you are approaching Amon Sûl. You can head across the last bridge, and you're going across this open area in towards the Weather Hills, and you will see. So as you're kind of closing that distance, you're not the only one closing the distance. To the north of the road is a great host. Men of basically a great host of orcs, trolls. They are moving swiftly across the plain as well. Probably so with the elves, with your vision, they're probably maybe 5 leagues to the north, moving in the same direction. You're kind of moving parallel. You're on the road. They're going across country. But being orcs again are tireless. Trolls, they can basically run all day, all night, and there would be a host of one of the things during the day. Orcs don't typically like sunlight, but there is a dark, unnatural cloud. The sky is unnaturally dark and cloudy, and you can see the source of that dark clouds is coming from the far north. And I'll drag you down to Amon Sûl. So I'll just throw that out there. If you wish to do anything with that information, you are welcome to.
Go faster.
Naturally, just relay anything I spot will be just relayed to the rest of the fellowship, so that they're aware of us.
Let's see if so. We'll drag you down to Amon Sûl. Let's make it a little bit challenging. They're moving at speed. You're moving at speed. Let's see how. Let's see how close it is. Do you get there? Does the army get there? So for this, I think we'll just come down to a single roll. Let me see what appropriate skill. I would say whoever is leading the group, let's make it an evade roll. So you're going to evade this army to get the Amon Sûl. So who wants to be the point person and make that roll?
Be Caledon?
That's
Caledon?
pretty good at that.
All right.
Let's hope.
Oh,
Actually, oh no, I don't know. So lightning
push.
fast, would that work or no?
It's close. Well, you may be, but you do have some slowpoke humans
Okay.
with you.
You can push.
Oh, you can push. Okay, and that just gives you. So Scrooge, does that just give you a condition if you push?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that I think that's what that circular symbol is on the next to the red number.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't available because of the demon earlier, because of the nat 20 that was wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, let me describe before you push, because push is going to give you a condition, and I find the conditions can be punishing. Let's kind of see what's going to happen. So I'm going to drag the army of Angmar on here. Might as well have a couple of. The siege towers are probably not moving at speed. We will basically, so here's the deal. So the trolls and the orcs are marching at speed, but I think the warg riders, that's probably makes sense to me. That since you got so close, it wasn't a major failure. You missed it by one. You are going to be overtaken by warg riders before you reach the capital. For the hell of it, and again, I'm not going to say we're not going to have to stop and do this fight. I'm going to say you're 2 rounds away from the gate. They're firing some cover fire, but it's still possible that the wargs could try and take one of you down. So I'm going to give you 1 round at first, just to tell. The wargs are closing in. You realize that they're faster. So I'm just going to give you 1 round to do anything that you wish before the wargs get to you. Just for fun, just because this is an army, I'm going to roll 2d10. There's 15 wargs and riders. That's a lot. Imagine 15 of these. So standing and fighting them really isn't practical. So let's do this. I like Adrian's use of initiative, regardless. So, Celebrian, you're up first. Is there anything that, as these wargs are closing in, is there anything that you wish to do? Again, you have soldiers running with you, other elves. Is there anything that you wish to do as these 15 warg riders are riding down on you?
Celebrian asks the warriors to form just like a rear guard formation, and then rides in front of them.
Okay.
Rides in front of them.
All right.
Draw arrows, notch, fire.
Okay.
Sends a volley of arrows.
All right. That's cool. The elves turn and stand. Is Celebrian stopping as well?
Of course, I do not abandon my people.
Okay. So this is going to be this could be a cool scene. So your elves turn and stand. Next up, Losiel.
I think I would just be guarding the princess. I don't have any ranged weapons.
She's racing for the gate. So you're going to stick with her and go for the gate?
Yeah, I better stick with her.
Okay, Radagast.
No, I don't think so, because he wouldn't particularly enjoy the process of being trapped inside that thing. So, No, I think if anything, he's going to mysteriously disappear at this point.
Okay. Right. Radagast has just left you guys all hanging.
The
All
hell?
right.
Where's the fog? Fog!
Caladorn.
The new alliance is already broken.
Caladon is probably going to launch an arrow and try and knock one of the
Okay.
Warg Riders
You
off.
won't need to roll in this particular scene. There will be a roll. There will be some rolls coming, but for this first round, you kind of it's kind of a free round. So yeah, you can fire off some arrows, pick off a warg rider, and the elves will actually will start launching arrows. The warg riders will kind of be doing the dashing in. They're definitely being picked off. Sometimes the rider, sometimes the warg. Lothiel, you and the princess reach the gate, pass through it, and your soldiers probably stuck with you. So the elves are the only ones who have, the elves have kind of stayed back. And as you would you stop and turn, or would you just keep running inside?
Winard's concern is really about there being an enemy on the other side of the gate to kill. That might want to kill the princess, so she's got to.
Oh, I see what you
stick
mean.
with her.
Yeah. So you both just get inside the gate. It's a pitched battle outside. As you get inside, a shriek from above causes all of the soldiers and people assembled, even yourself a bit, to cringe as again a shadow falls over, passes over Amon Sûl, and Lothiel, as you look up, you can see a great winged beast passes over, and it's going to come directly down on top of the elf formation.
Oh crap!
I'll give you. Yeah, you have no.
Are there any large weapons in the fortress that can be used to fire, like
There's ballistas? Yeah, I guess there would be ballistas and stuff.
I would try to keep the princess with me and try to get to a ballista and get people and say, we got to. Whoever's with me, let's man this thing and fire.
Well, this is all happening pretty fast, so I'm only going to give you one chance here to prevent perhaps a catastrophe or a slaughter. So the beast will it circles once and then it goes into a dive. You have just enough time to reach a ballista. I would say that probably falls under crossbows, which means you probably don't have a great stat on it. But
can I craft a little? No, I don't know. This is what I would try to do.
If you have any ideas, and I would throw in Radagast, you can just tell me whenever you wish to reappear. That's completely up to you. Unless you can think of anything else, you're going to have to make a crossbow roll. You could get lucky. I would.
You can do it.
I would throw out that. So how you enter, you actually run up. You run up the side, so you're actually up to enter Amon Sûl. You be up here. So we'll say. I will throw one other option for you, which is you could use your guardian to draw the Witch King of Angmar towards you instead of the elves.
Well, if I wasn't in the fortress, I would happily sacrifice myself to pull him away from everybody, but I don't know that I want to pull him to the fortress.
That's
Well, yeah,
right.
hunting
Yep.
skill. Hunting a large beast of that nature might help.
I do have hunting and fishing. I don't know if that.
That's not really a weapon skill.
No.
I think this is a war roll. I mean, it's flying. It's going to descend.
I'm fine having the crappy roll chance. I'm okay with that. I
Yep.
don't mind failing.
Yep. So crossbow. Here we go. You might roll. Who knows? The rolls
He
have been
doesn't
going
mind
here
failing when it doesn't involve him.
Look, I'm
Spear.
willing to sacrifice
It's a
myself
spear.
if I don't have to sacrifice everybody in the fortress. I mean, I guess I could pull it, but I don't think she would do that with the princess there. That's just drawing.
That's right. Yep.
Doesn't
So go
make
ahead.
sense
You
for
have,
the
you, have
character.
to, you have to make your choice. You have to make your choice.
Oh, it's close. That was close. I almost saved you guys.
Push, push, push.
Oh, it's just by a hair. Yeah, I'll push.
All right. So that effect. So I assume the effect that you have to take is associated with the attribute you're using. So that would be an agility. So dazed for some reason. I'm not sure I like the pushes then.
No, it's up to you. Do you want me to? Is it okay?
I'll let you push it. Yep.
That's the little button
instead of
beside
it doesn't make instead of just using these, I'm just going to say that you have a condition, and I'll get to use something against you.
That was close that time.
Man.
Razor thin, but I fail.
At least you tried.
Yeah, I can't be generous all the time.
No, I don't want you to be generous.
The crossbow whizzes, the ballista bolt whizzes past. The Witch King shrieks, but he's not to be deterred as the beast descends. And Celebrian and Caledorn, you will have to give me some evasion rolls, please.
Am I able to use lightning fast? Is this a situation where I can use it?
I believe this. Let me check here. I believe that I have lightning fast is built into your
Oh, okay.
lightning fast. Where we are, boon on sorry, that gives you a boon on initiative. No, there's no initiative on this one. This is just at least initially there will be.
Yep.
But this is just an evade. So Celebrian made it.
Evade. Hang on a second. Watch him dive and roll.
Jeez, that
Commando
is
roll.
amazing. Roll again. So Celebrian and Caledorn, you managed to dive aside. The Witch King and his beast descend. They do land in and amongst your men, and it is a terrifying slaughter. Even the beast and the wargs are not even immune. But the two of you can scramble free of him. And I can't believe I'm going to give you this choice, and I'll really be in disbelief depending on what you decide. But you can either take this opportunity to escape into Amon Sûl, or we can roll initiative. Whatever you wish.
Caledon, we must pick our battles. Let us retreat. With as many that we
It's
can.
going to follow orders. I'm very wanting to, but I think you would probably
Radagast.
Finishes off
Radagast.
as the beast is
Bob.
finishing is sating its hunger for blood. The Witch King dismounts. So you're running for Amon Sûl?
I was trying before that. I was trying to jump on a warg. So I was trying to take off a rider so I could jump on one of the wargs.
You could, although the warg probably isn't going to obey you. What was your intent?
I was just trying to take one of them off and get the momentum of the warg to loop around.
Oh, sure.
back
Yeah,
towards
that's
the
a cool narrative. Yeah, that's cool. That's narrative. Yeah. So Celebrian, you're running towards the gate.
Riding. Try to grab some of the warriors if I can.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You can. All right. Just because I won't make it completely hopeless. Sure. If you can give me another evade roll, you can grab a wounded warrior and haul him up onto your horse.
I'll do riding.
Oh, riding. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, riding. Yeah.
Damn, why did I do evade?
Oh. And as you race away, the Witch King, his voice, cuts through the clamor of the army, and he's like, "It's the line of Westerness, and the North ends here. This is the hour of Angmar." And but you'll make it. They quickly close the gates, and the witch and his army cries out, and Amon Sûl is besieged. His great beast will take off. Will move the elves. Unfortunately, they've been mostly slaughtered. Now, was Thranduil right, Celebrian, that you shouldn't have gotten involved? Got all these elves killed. All right, let me just move these over. Get rid of the Warg Riders, and inside is the king, your Elric. So the princess immediately, I guess, after that incident, are you going to wait around? So that they've made it inside. There's no sign of Radagast. Lothiel, are you going to Celebrian and Caledorn, or I guess what's the plan? You know the king is here. The warriors are all trying to get ready for this major siege or attack. Yeah. So what's the next move?
I would try to bring them in with the princess to go speak to whoever's. The king's here, right? So to go to speak to the king.
The king is here along with Sir Eldrick and Lord Corvin.
Yeah. So we would need. I would want, if I knew the elves had come in and saw them come in, I would try to gather them with me, so we'd go together. But I'd need their knowledge, their word of what happened.
Did the wizard make it? Says the princess. Radagast. She'll look towards Celebrian.
Oh, did Radagast make it?
Yeah. The wizard, where is he? Has he fallen?
I do not know what his plan is, but he seemed to abandon the elves at our time of need. I do not feel it is wise to let our enemies see us divided. And so I call for you, men of the fortress, to join in this defense of the realm.
The king will look towards you. He is, there's a look of awe on his face that elves have actually arrived. He greets his daughter. He steps forward to greet you, Celebrian. You are most welcome here, my lady, you'll say. But the hour is dark. There is the host of Angmar is upon us, and I am confused. They've obviously defeated the Palantir. And in this moment, Lothiel, I'm going to drag you back up here. If you recall, when you're at Fornost, there were three of the Rudauer. Brothers, and now I'll drag you back. You see that Lord Corvin is here, and you understand that basically no one here is aware that Rudauer has anything to do with this.
Yeah.
I assure you, my king, my father's host will be assembling as we speak to come to our aid.
I think I would walk forward as if everything was normal, and then suddenly leap forward and stab Corvin before the princess or anyone else can say anything to give away.
Yeah, you don't need to make a roll. It's a shock, of course. Roquin, have you lost your mind?
Enemy,
Father,
betrayer.
We have been betrayed. And Rudauer has aligned with Angmar. and he will have a look of shock on his face. He turns to Sir Elric and he will say, "The Palantir," and he just nods, gestures for some soldiers to go with him, and he's heading for the Palantir room in the tower. I'm going to switch outside, probably outside to Radagast. Is Radagast, what is Radagast doing? Has he found an interesting mushroom that's growing near the base of the tower that has caught his attention, or?
No, I just think that that was a really good moment for Radagast never to be seen again. Within the story of the evening. It's like we know that he's got a little bit of a bad reputation in the Tolkien circuit, right? As someone who fails and doesn't focus on men or a thing. So yeah, he helped. He got them here. He
Okay.
It's like.
Okay, all right.
And now we know that the fall has to happen, so it's all good.
All right. So that's hilarious. Well, I have to give you kudos for that. Extra bonus points in whatever future game we play. Sir Elric. So just for time, because we have one more encounter. Elric takes soldiers above, and they will seize the Seer of Rudour and take control of the Palantir, in which the truth is laid bare. They can see to Cameth Bren, they see the extent of the host of Angmar, and in fact, they see that there is an army of Rudour coming this way, but it is not to aid Amon Sûl. It is to join the Witch King in seeing to its destruction. And so we're going to skip ahead to there is kind of a throne, there's kind of an audience room or a throne room here with the King Elric. The actual Palantir is here. And you are all assembled, minus Radagast, who is not even here in spirit. And the king is taking your counsel, but he has a grave look on his face. His first question will be, can we expect any additional aid from Rivendell in this dark hour?
The force that we have sent is all that you will see at this. Well, unless, tell me if I'm wrong, but force that is the event. No, okay. I'll say in time, but probably not soon enough. Okay, I'll say, but you have seen that we have laid down our lives to defend this threat, and we should not hesitate to do so. We have seen many threats in our time. This may be the last.
It is clear to me that this Witch King not only seeks our destruction, but he has his eye set on this. And he points towards the Amon Sûl stone. With it comes great power, not only the power of sight, but the power of communication across great distances. It must not fall into his hands. It must be saved. It must be taken from this place. And he'll look towards probably you, Losiel, the princess, and he goes, and my daughter must be actually, he says, he'll do it right now. He goes, and my daughters need to be taken from this place. And he'll look towards you, Losiel, and he'll say, I am sorry that I never told you. And you suddenly realize why the queen has been cold to you all these years. I am just as proud of you as I am of any of my children. And he'll step
Her
forward.
face would drop and be in complete and utter shock. She'd probably drop the spear to the floor. Clearly,
So he steps forward.
no idea.
And the princess, she's shocked. He's shocked too, but he'll say, "You are the last. You are both the last of my line. You are the heirs of Isildur." He goes, "It falls to you to see the Amon Sûl stones safely brought to Fornost. And there's only one reason why the Witch King, how you could go unnoticed, how you could leave with the Witch King pursuing you. And that is because I will ride out to meet him." No,
She would just like
father.
drop an F-bomb or something, whatever the equivalent is in Lord of the Rings. I don't know. She would like a curse word of like just. She's shocked.
Future of our kingdom now falls in your hands. My time has come to an end.
She
Amon
would then
Sûl
run
will
up and hug
fall.
him.
Oh, you do? Okay, all
She'd
right.
have
And he
to.
will. He has to
In
do
tears.
that first. Yeah, she will.
She wants nothing more than to be the one to ride out. She wants to fight the creature.
All right. So he will turn towards Celebrian and Caledorn, and he says, "And I count on you to see them safely to Fornos. I know I ask much."
You asked little, as
Caledon.
your sacrifice will be known and foretold throughout the land.
Caledon just looks to Celebrian and follows suit. Whatever she does, he'll just
All right. Then
nod.
there is.
And,
Let
there
me
is-
take
in fact,
him. Let
he's
me
going to grab
take
his
him. You go.
hand-carved
You go.
clasp. And he's
You
going
be,
to...
you
What'd
be
you say?
safe.
He's going to...
You say that to him? Let me know. He will say,
Sorry, Travis.
"I know that your courage. I know that you have the courage to stand against the greatest of evil, my daughter. But you are not known. You are not known to he who wears the iron crown. It is only me that will stay his hand, that will cause him to focus his eye here and not on you as you flee north. It is only the king that can gain his attention. But I will die knowing that the future is in good hands. I'm sorry. I wish there was more time." He's genuine. He goes, "I wish there was more time, since literally you've only had about 5 minutes as father and daughter." He goes, "But you must go. Fly, you fools. Fly." No.
Radagast!
She'll obey.
But
There'd
you
probably
must
be
go.
more conversation, but I don't want to waste the time on it. But yeah, she would go. She would obey eventually.
Okay, go. And there is a tunnel system that leads deep underneath the fortress that leads through the Weather Hills to the north. So you are going to so Caledorn, the princess, Isil and Celebrian. So it has to be you have to move swiftly, and you can't move in great numbers because you basically have to go unnoticed from the host of Angmar. Now, it will get you a good distance away from the fortress, but it doesn't mean it's not without risk. So is there any final thing as you hear the war drums of the orcs, the cries of the trolls, and the trumpets of course, of Arthedain? Is there any last thing that you wish to do before you leave Amon Sûl to its fate?
Caledon wanted to do something, I think.
Yes, sir. I wanted to take out my father's arrow, notch it in
Okay.
my bow.
Yep.
look to the darkness in the sky if it's still there.
Oh, the flying beast. Yeah, it's circling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Are you
Pull out.
sure?
as I'm going to touch the clasp, my hand, my little memento that I assume was given
All
to
right.
me by my parents, and say, may thy arrow fly true, and look to the sky and launch it at the beast.
Oh, very cool. I will. This is definitely a cool moment. Just like an arrow can fell Smog, this arrow will fell this beast in a single blow. If
Maybe
you
not
hit.
all is lost
I
for
hate-
Arveleg.
I hate having to make you roll, but I am going to have to. It's a game. I'm going to have to make you roll. I don't know what I would do if you missed. This is your father. I mean, there's the power of evil. I will give you your father's spirit. You feel your father's spirit as you draw back the bow. The odds are with you. I'm going to give you a boon,
Oh.
so you can. But so still a chance of failure. But
What are you aiming for? The king? Which king?
No, for the
Well,
beast in the sky,
the
creating the
the
darkness.
the great beast. I'll blow that up. It's a giant bat.
Right.
It took the one that landed on the
That's right.
fellow
Yeah, killed
comrades.
killed all the
yes. Retribution.
but yeah, killed all your elves, and that is a hit. A 9 and a 14. Nice. So as it flies over, your arrow flies. Do you want to describe taking it out?
Sure. You look as his eyes shut, and Caledon sort of raises his head a little bit, not as if looking to the sky, as if listening to the movements of the beast through the sky as he launches the arrow without even looking.
Very cool.
Eyes shut, ears moving.
And the
then
great
just,
beast
tweaking at it.
Cries out and its strength fails and its wings flounder and it spirals down, crashing into the Angmarian army, taking out a bunch of orcs and stuff too. The Witch King had dismounted, and he would have survived anyway. But this was his personal pet, a personal beast that he raised. So as it crashes, there is dead silence, and then the entire host of Angmar cries out in rage and charges. But that is a cool distraction as well. So your group can take to the tunnels. And that is pretty. I have to say that is pretty friggin' epic. So you race through the tunnels by torchlight, heading north through the hills. You'll come out. You can hear the sounds of battle, and as you emerge into, I'm not going to say sunlight. It's basically it's a darkness. The clouds, the storm clouds, are raging overhead. Lightning crashes. All meant to block. Their purpose is to block out the sun, to keep its annoying rays from the orcs. And as you exit the tunnels and move through the Weather Hills, you don't quite make it, as there are some folks waiting for you. Lord Malric and some soldiers of Rudauer.
Oh, I like Malric.
As you exit, well, he's one of the Rudarian princes or lords. As you exit, he will actually, kind of scoff, and he goes, "Do you think your family were the only ones that knew of the secret tunnels, princess?" And he'll kind of smiles. He goes, "You will make an excellent offering to my lord, to the Lord of Angmar."
Put down your arms, Malric. Join us against the shadow. You know better. You can do better.
Oh,
you're not like
geez,
your brothers. I believe in you. There is more to you than this.
All right, I'm going
Celebrian
to throw
steps
this
forward
out
to
there.
give him weight, to give Lociel's word some weight, and says,
So I want
choose
the-
your next
I want
words
the-
carefully.
I want the elves to make a spot, only the elves to make a spot hidden roll while Lothiel steps forward. Celebrian.
Yasiel would probably try to keep the elves from stepping forward because the thing that that binds
Please step forward.
Malric and Yasiel is the lack of trusting the elves.
So I am going to throw this. I'm going to throw it at. I'm going to throw this out to you. Do you have a history with Malric? You can be anything you want. You've got carte blanche. You describe to me your history with Malric, and then I will, based on that, determine what type of role needs to happen.
There was some kind of bond from when they were younger. This distrust of elves and magic, and that the strength of man is what will save the world, and that's what has bound them. Now she's learned different in seeing elves and fighting with them a little bit, and the wizard's power, but she believes in the goodness that they had, because she never liked his brothers or the other lords, but they liked each other. And so and she didn't know she was royalty, so she was always his lesser, but he didn't treat her that way.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you. I guess you already said you wanted. I'll see if you have anything else that you want to say to him. Both elves have made the spot hidden. So the only thing that of note besides them is that to kind of off to a side, kind of there's a space between the two, but just off to the side near a tree is some discarded equipment. So, Lothiel, what would you like to say? I'll just move that in the middle here. What do you want to? Is there anything else that you want to say to Malric? Or maybe let's just rehash your actual. Now that I know your history, what are you going to say to him?
So out of character, when you did the flashback and we met them, I immediately wrote down that I'm friends with Malric. I agree. We agree on
awesome.
things.
That's amazing. That's cool.
And I didn't like Corvin right away. Corvin was an enemy, but Malric was my friend. So
Malric will actually say, he goes, "You don't understand, Lothiel. He doesn't want to. He will not harm the princess. She is she is a prize." He will say, "Join. I can spare I can have the both of you spared."
And she would hesitate. But the refugees, you gave them to him. No, we must do a better way. You must join us.
He actually says, "Geez, what are you talking about? Give them to who?"
At the elven ruins that I forget the name of already.
I don't know of what you speak.
And then of the city, which I forget the name of, that is now
Cameth Bryn.
Yeah, Cameth Bryn is lost to the orcs. What you've lost the humanity there. We must rise as men. I know she's a woman, but as the men.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
We must rise together. We must work together to staff off the shadow. No, it's not about the elves or the wizards. It's about men. We must work together, not against each other.
And you can see he actually grows fearful. His voice cracks a bit. He looks around and he says, "You don't understand, Lothiel."
She would move in toward to embrace him.
His stare alone can break any man. You're gonna embrace him? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, together we can break you free of him.
I'm going to give you a roll here.
So if he was going to stab her, he could. She's going in for proper embrace.
What did the elves notice with spot hidden? What am I looking at? Is it?
Sorry, I'll make it bigger. It's just some discarded equipment to the side.
Yeah, what is it? What's the significance of it?
It looks like it beats me.
No, we haven't seen that type of equipment before.
No, it's just discarded. So I'm just saying, you just discarded equipment. That's all.
Okay.
So sometimes I just like to throw in random items. Not important to the story.
I thought he was secretly the Black Rider or something.
So Malbrek, so you do the embrace. I'm going to give you a roll here, and this is going to be a persuasion roll, which is probably the most appropriate one. I will give, because of your backstory you come up with, I will give you a boon.
Really?
I'm not sure. Yes. And since you wrote, what sold me is when you said that you wrote it down. I was like,
did.
okay.
I have it written.
Yeah.
As soon as I wrote notes about all the NPCs. Yeah.
Yep. So that's cool. That tells me there's backstory, even in the game.
Good thing you gave me a boon.
Oh wow, jeez. So he is actually a bit fearful. So he looks at you. You can see that kind of kinship in your eyes, and he just says, "Oh, one of them is here," he says. And at that moment, Princess Ariel cries out and staggers forward. As I'm gonna move this over here. She cries out and staggers forward. She's been stabbed in the back. Not a mortal wound, but she's been stabbed in the back. She staggers forward and collapses.
Do elves do anything? I'm just kidding.
We were frozen the whole time, apparently.
You literally saw nothing. You literally saw nothing.
Radagast!
So, although you do see the knife, you do see the knife in her back.
Oh no!
But she staggers forward, and so I'm gonna give you one round. What do you do?
Celebrian, see if I can detect anything.
You do not see everything yet. You can look around. You can give me a spot hidden, although I want a really damn good roll. In fact, I need a 1.
Laciel would have immediately thrown a sword in whatever direction she thought.
Yep.
That something would be, and then grab the princess.
So Caledon,
Malric, help me.
Glaciel, he draws the sword. He's fearful. His people run. His people actually run. You actually hear a voice, a whispering happening. Before I do my whisper voice, I just want to again throw it to Celebrian and Caledon. Did you want to make those rolls? I am going to need a 1. I mean, it's.
Well, can I, seeing that there's something unseen, like Caledon doesn't, but noticing that the princess has been stabbed by something invisible or unseen to my eyes, can I hold the elf stone, which helps me? One of its properties is unseen things.
You can see. Oh shoot! I didn't even put those two together. You can see. There is a blade in her, so it's not like she was stabbed by something completely invisible. You do see the weapon. Yeah, you know what? So I'm gonna if you grip the elf stone. What did you make on your roll? Did you pass
I haven't rolled. What do I need to roll? I want to hold the elf stone and say, "Reveal yourself."
I'll give you a straight roll.
Come on!
Oh.
It's all those good rolls early on.
So Laciel, you rush forward. You rush forward to the princess. You see the dagger in her back, and you all hear a voice. Snag ha dashum krim pato der snag. As the helmet, the sword, the sword, and the robe fill out as something rises in them. And as he is saying that, so that is the black speech. As he is saying that, this is what the elves can actually understand black speech. This is what the elves hear when he says that. 9 rings for mortal men doomed to die. As Kamul, second of the 9, rises, retaking control of his equipment, and brings his sword up in a salute. Asiel, you are at Princess Aranor's side. There's a dagger sticking in her back. Do you grab it? Do you pull it out?
I don't. At the sight of him
Good.
rising, I would pull the spear that I was given.
Okay.
The weapon of royalty, which was the spear of Aranel.
Yes. All right.
And I would use my guardian and I would say, face me, evil one, coward who stabs from the shadows. I will destroy you.
For three of you, you could have had a Maiar at your side, but it'll be the three of you against the Nazgul. I'm not changing his stats because there's only three of you. But let's go. Caladorn, you're first. He salutes with the sword and strides forward.
And hopefully Malric helps.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, his people flee. They just flee.
I'm not sure how the system works. Does sneaking have any effect on combat?
No, not in this. Maybe it would. I would give you. Sorry, here's what I would do. If you do choose to sneak, you wouldn't be able to attack this round. You'd basically disappear, and then next round possibly get a surprise attack. So it's up to you. So you'd have to lose a round, and what you don't know is whether or not you can sneak up on a Nazgul or not. Although if you give me a myths and legends roll, I can give you more information on it, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's if it doesn't cost me anything, I'll try.
Yeah, no, it doesn't cost you anything. A teen, nope.
All
So I
falling
can't tell you
apart.
anything about. So do you want to sneak and try to attack with surprise next round, or do you want to
No, I
attack?
feel like this is probably something that needs to be attacked.
All right. Go ahead.
What are we going to do? Is it? How far away is it? Sorry, I'm coming.
Oh, it's you can fight in melee. It's up if you wanted to back off and fire arrows, that's fine. But it is in melee. It moves fast. There's nowhere you can really go to escape. If it chooses you as a target, it can reach you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I would probably just pull out the knives then.
Okay.
Both knives spend my point. So if I understand it correctly, I spend 2 points and I have an extra attack with my long knives.
Yes.
So that means I
If
get 2
Guardian
attacks.
works, he should attack me, not you.
Oh, God. Okay. So, so does that mean I can do 3?
Dual weapons. Yes, you get an extra attack. Yes, you can do 3. It will leave you. It will leave you. So I am going to say, Lociel would have to spend. So for every, you don't know how many attacks the Nazgul has. I would probably require Lociel to spend that for each of his attacks. So I can drain. You probably will be draining the willpower pretty quickly. So it's up to you.
Okay.
But if you don't have to evade, so I just want to explain how. So I want to explain how monsters work in Dragonbane because it's a bit different than other systems. So the Nazgul is a major threat. The monster. That means whatever he attacks, he automatically hits. He doesn't have to roll. So you can only evade him. So that just to bear that in mind, everybody. Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Cool. Do your attack.
So can I do 2 lots of? Can I spend 4 willpower to do?
Sure. Why not?
Attacks?
Yep.
Does that work?
Yep.
Is that how that?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. We'll burn through your willpower. Yeah. Sure.
So let me just subtract another 2. So that takes me to 9.
As he puts back the moonshine.
So we got 4 attacks.
So go ahead. So Caladorn just comes in quickly, thrashing with the blades.
2, 3, 4.
Not bad.
That looks like 3 of the 4 hits. Yeah, give me the damage for 3 attacks.
Yep. So we go here. So we go 1, 2, 3.
I might need a calculator.
Oh, what?
16 That's 19 damage.
19,
Wow.
nice.
There's 3 1s in there. Jeepers. Half your
I know,
dice
it's
were
pretty
1s.
gnarly.
Yeah,
It's a
just
one
thought,
and
man,
two,
it
and a one
will
and one.
it will shriek and swirl about. Next up is Celebrian. I'm going to give you guys initiative. It's still going to act this round, but I'll give you the first initiative just because I'm generous.
Can I use my myths and legends to see what I can deduce about its weakness or how to dispel it?
Sure.
Nah, man.
All right.
Change my dice, man. I just spit on the ground. Bloody humans, get us into
Maybe
this
if you
mess.
hug it.
I'll
They hate hugs.
because I don't have
right,
my normal bow. Do I still make the same roll with bow, or is it were those bonuses based on that bow?
I think that bow gave you. Let's, for the sake of tonight, just roll. We'll
Okay.
say you're super skilled.
All right. We'll lose.
I think it gave you a +1 or something, but it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Oh.
For this
All right,
fight,
all
you
right.
guys are all gonna lose anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm joking. Nice, yeah, that's a hit. Roll damage. Uh, 11. It's nice. Okay. Laciel.
Laciel would kind of be sort of straddling the princess as she's stepping forward
Yep.
to fight, and she tried to activate her guardian. I call upon the power of my new bloodline through the spear and attack, and if I can again, I would use swift strike.
Oh,
I don't know what the spear itself does, but that's how she would see it, as calling upon the power
Yep.
of her bloodline that she never knew she had,
Yeah.
so she wouldn't have known how to use it properly before now.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're going all out. You're not saving any evades.
Oh, I'll save and evade, but I want to use swift strike
Oh, you
to
will.
get 2
Okay.
attacks,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'll save.
Oh, to get the extra one. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Oh, and I got a 1 and a miss.
Oh my God, you guys and your well, I mean, you failed some, but yeah. So 1 is double damage.
Oh, sweet.
Right.
So that's 22 damage. That's another 2 1s though. Jeepers.
Nice.
Wow.
With the
All
spear
right.
that should penetrate his armor, right?
It shrieked. Yeah, he doesn't have any armor. It's just a robe.
Oh.
He's an incorporeal creature, but he'll shriek as the spear goes in. There'll be if you remember the Hobbit, when they get struck, there's kind of this flaring of light. I'll say you'll actually put your spear right through his face mask and knock it off as he shrieks and whirls around.
Scarier
And
now.
yeah, it's just an empty cowl now. He's an incorporeal. We'll say actually, when you hit him with the spear, he will. I wasn't sure if you would do anything with the equipment, so here's what he looks like without his
Damn.
robes and stuff. So
Yeah, that's scarier.
Yeah. Put
So
the
he
mask
will
back
still-
on.
so so
Now we're
are
at
you
attack.
are you using yeah, so he draws a sword and he's frightened, but he will charge forward and attack. So here's my question. Are you going to use Guardian?
Yes.
And a Nazgul has 3 attacks. Are you going to use it 3 times?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yes.
This is not good for you, probably, because you only have 1 evade. So the first thing that the Nazgul does is it shrieks. Everybody except for elves must make a will roll. So you get a roll equal to or less than your will, not your will points, your will attribute at the top.
This is my breaking point.
Willpower 20.
Well, the roll
Oh.
is 20.
Oh
13's my
my
willpower.
God! Okay, so yeah, you're just overcome with dread.
Oh my God, Malric, I was wrong. I'll join you.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, because I can do whatever I want with the 20. I'm actually not going to give you any penalties. but it's going to come at a cost. When the Nazgul shrieks and Melric charges forward, he actually dies of fright.
Oh, for
He literally just drops dead. So I'm going to take away an ally here.
That is worse than I expected.
That was only the first attack. I'll just do 2 die 6. We might go 10 minutes over. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep, I got a bit of time.
Okay. All right. Give me an evade roll.
Boom. Fade.
And I'll abbreviate the fight. I won't make it go on.
Oh, nope, I don't.
No,
Unless I can
you
push
don't.
that.
Once again, the men fall.
No.
Yeah.
All
I was
right,
expecting to die. Or I was really trying to get myself in a position.
So that's 15 damage minus your armor.
What's my armor? Oh, there it is. 5, so 10 damage. Okay, that's fine.
And the last, and it's really focused on you. It's shrieking. It's coming around. As you've knocked off the mask is discarded aside. You can see a darkness kind of mist emanating out from its face, and you will have to give me another willpower roll for its last action.
Oh, just made that one.
Okay, all right. As you feel a coldness start to seep into your bones. All right.
I shouldn't have doubted Malric.
Lothdale, you were up first. Look at that. I want some epic stuff this round. This is going to be the last round, one way or another.
You're up, Lothdale.
Oh, me. Sorry.
Lothdale.
Jeez.
Yep.
I was.
You
I'm
found
just
your
getting over the
willpower
last
in real
round.
life. Yeah.
It's reeling. It's reeling.
I would still. I
It's
would
called role
definitely
playing,
use
folks. Role
fast.
playing.
Because she's stunned and afraid. She is terrified, and that
There's
Malric.
a fear. You're afraid for your home. You're afraid for the princess. You're afraid for yourself, and you feel the coldness of it starting to seep into you as whatever is powering this thing is now trying to take over you. Go ahead. You have
The death of Malric also hits her hard because that's her fault.
If you have something cool to say, I'll give you a boon if it's cool.
I said my cool thing about calling on the.
Oh, I
bloodline
know,
last
that's
time.
right. Okay,
But
You're
she
right,
she
yeah.
wouldn't be about words now. She would be just screaming, and it would be a scream of
okay.
terror,
Alright.
anger, everything all combined. It would be her attempt at its type of shriek, and she would rush into it, taking its blade if necessary to impale it on the spear.
Oh, interesting. All right, I won't make you do the blade, but go ahead, give me the roll.
In my father's name, and I forget his name.
Arveleg.
I mean, this kind of doesn't seem like Swift Strike, but I do have 2 willpower left to throw on Swift Strike.
Do it. So I'll give you a choice. You can either do the Swift Strike or take a boon on one attack. It's up to you. How about this? Either do a boon, and if you do the boon, I'll give you double damage again.
Oh, okay. But I also don't want to care about evading at this point. She has 0 interest in evading any blows.
If it doesn't go down, if it doesn't, or this will be resolved one way or another this round. So go ahead. Oh, a 3. Jeez, that's a nice roll.
The 10, so if it's
10
double,
damage.
that's 20.
It shrieks as it's trapped on the spear, because the spear is mithril. Even though it's incorporeal, they can get hung up on things. So it's actually the spear. You've skewered it. You've run it right through, and it's stuck on the spear. It's thrashing around. It's bringing the sword up to try and bring it down, and it is Caledorn's turn.
Finish him.
Caledorn,
I'm gonna
go.
spend 4 willpower. I'm gonna move back a few steps, and I'm gonna launch 4 arrows at it.
Oh, nice.
Bows, so it is. Do I roll all 4?
Yep. 17. Oh my god.
Okay.
Nice.
And because it's incorporeal, all 4 arrows pass through it and hit Lothiel. No, just joking.
She'd be okay with that. I deserved
dear.
every one of those.
So what's
It
that?
doesn't take a whole lot of it. It takes some damage. It's obviously highly. It's a incorporeal being, but yeah, the arrows you're swiftly flying and it's reeling. It's stuck on the edge of this thing, and when the arrows hit it, the arrows they actually do go through it, and you're good enough that you're not going to be shooting a fellow companion, but they kind of, as they hit the creature, they kind of go through it, and as they come out the other side of it, it's just dust. So the arrows are literally kind of blowing through it and being disintegrated as they pass through this unnatural area, and it's all going to come down to Celebrian.
I think I failed all my last 3 rolls. Just tell me briefly, willpower, what can I use that for, if anything, to attack? Or is it only for abilities?
35 damage, not bad.
It typically powers your abilities, and I would say, how about this? Why don't you use do I have that here? Why don't we use inner light? So you remember in the movies when Frodo saw Arwen and she was almost glowing? So you are a Noldor elf, which means you have some of the same power that Radagast or the Maiar have. You actually have some of the light from the 2 trees inside you. So you can actually glow. I don't know if you remember Galadriel.
Yeah,
She changes into that kind of form. You can do that as well.
Actually, it wasn't Galadriel. Galadriel's my mother, wasn't she? Or was that someone else?
No, she is. So you can actually take on that kind of wraith-like a form, and I'll give you if you do that, I'll give you a boon to everything you do this round.
All right.
You obviously have to reveal yourself as that form. It could be terrifying to people, but
I will. I'll reveal the inner light against the shadow, and I'll amalgamate that with my Torglaive, which normally only glows when orcs are near, but in this particular time, the light glows from my body into the Torglaive, and the light will pierce the darkness, and I just fly forward and bring down the sword.
And I'll give you a boon.
Okay, sword. Here we go. Double 4.
Oh, double 4s. That's got to be something special. Describe
critical.
Describe to me how you dispatch the Nazgul. You cannot slay it, but you can dispatch it.
Yes, as it's pinned by the spear, and as the blades of Caledorn go through it, I bring the sword down across its throat, and the head separates just for a brief moment to show that it's been decapitated before the rest just falls in black tar and leaves.
Very cool. Very cool. And Kamel, Shadow of East, has been dispelled back to Mordor, leaving Prince Aranel on the ground, lying there with a blade in her back.
Give her healing.
Yep, you crouch down, you pull the blade.
Yep.
And as you do, the blade disintegrates as you pull it free, it just floats away like mist. You can give me a myths and legends roll.
Surely.
We found every. Oh, that's what we had to do.
Your heart.
We just remember at the end.
Your heart sinks. It is a Morgul blade. Even a nick is lethal.
I'll just whisper that to
Going to
Luciel.
die.
The princess doesn't know, does she?
No. Well,
Okay.
unless you tell her.
No, I'll just let Luciel know. If you have any last words, Luciel, I believe the time is now.
No. It can't be. There'd be a whole emotional scene about grabbing her and
And she
take my life instead.
She sees it in your eyes. She sees her fate in Celebrian's eyes, and she pulls the ring.
Radagast, you bastard! You left us.
She
Radagast!
pulls the ring.
I vow to
He
hunt
could have
down
saved
Radagast.
anything. She pulls the ring of butter here from her finger. It's up to you now, she says, and she holds it or presses it into your hand.
There'd be crying and such.
And
She would probably lift her right up and like spin her around
and Princess Aranel of Arnor falls into shadow.
Loot the body.
And loot the body and passes. And
does she become what, like a...
Yeah, well, typically, so here's what I'm going to do. Because Celebrian is there, and the elves do have some magic against this. Elrond is actually the only person who can actually heal someone who's been struck by a Morgul blade. I'm assuming that Celebrian may have picked a few things up. So here's what I'll do: if she places the elf stone in her hand at the time of her passing, she will just pass and not become a wraith like the Nazgul.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because you're basically your future. Yeah, if you get struck with the Morgul blade, you become a wraith under the control of the Witch King normally. But with the elf stone there, I will
What a
say
great
that
nemesis she would be in a campaign.
it passed. He would, yeah. I mean, this would be an awesome campaign.
I'll let Lossiel know that's what I'm doing. At least have the comfort
but if
to
the
know.
Dark Lord gets her, then at least she'll be alive, right? And then we could save her later.
Just shake my head.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And then in the distance, you see the great watchtower of Amon Sûl collapse in a fiery inferno under the onslaught of Angmar. And the scene shifts to some hobbits
Aragorn.
being escorted by a ranger across the plains. And one of the hobbits goes, "What is that ring, Aragorn, sir? Is it magical, like Mr. Frodo's?" "No, Master Brandybuck, but it is old. It is a relic of promises made long ago. Promises I intend to keep." And as they kind of pass around a boulder, the ruin comes into view, and Aragorn looks up at it with the look of memory. It says, "This was once the great watchtower of Amon Sûl. We shall rest here tonight." And that's where the adventure ends.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very good.
Dang.
So this ring, I don't know if you're familiar with the Ring of Power here. He does wear it in the movie. In the books, it's very significant. It is basically the kind of like the sign of the king, and it's a symbol of friendship between elves and men. So Lossiel is Aragorn's great grandmother.
Huh.
There you
So
go.
she survives. Sort of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up if you want to kind of describe if you do want to if you have any thoughts on what happens to your characters, feel free to share them. Celebrian unfortunately has a tragic fate waiting for her, but who knows?
get ambushed,
Caladorn. Yeah, Celebrian gets ambushed in the mountains over Mirkwood, then she's tortured for some time, eventually rescued, but she loses all desire to stay in Middle-earth, sails off into the west of Alinor, Undying Lands. Lossiel, so all of the north does fall to the Witch King, but it is hundreds of years in the future, so Lossiel will never see it.
She would probably spend the rest of her days fighting the desire to what should I join the Witch King? Should I be on the side? So there would she would be haunted after this forever until her death, not knowing which was the right side.
But you've got to find her a husband and allow her to produce a child as well.
And she gets knocked up. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, very elegantly put. Well done.
And
Radagast!
Caladorn, does he ever return to the Woodland Realm?
I think he will, but only in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
so
he'll
somewhere
sort
in
of
the future, the Woodland Realm becomes involved in the Battle of the Five Armies after the death of Smaug. Would Caladorn have been there?
Absolutely.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. And Radagast. What's the final scene? This is the post-credit scene, so the credits have rolled. And now it switches to the forest in Radagast. What do we see?
He's probably going home, right, to rest up for a while, and have some nice conversations with spiders.
Awesome. Very cool. I want to thank everybody for bringing your A game. That was awesome. Kept me on my
Thanks, Sid.
It
toes.
was pretty fun. Thank you,
It was
sir.
really good.
it
Put
was
a lot
good
of put a lot
adventure.
of
I
effort
really
into that,
enjoyed
mate.
that scenario.
Thanks. Yeah, it
Very
was fun.
rich.
This idea, it was supposed to be a campaign. I had actually ran this. I had to condense it into, so I ran it before as a campaign, and I think it was 10 sessions.
Ooh,
Yeah, so I've had to
wow.
condensed it into one session, which was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, I cut out a lot, obviously, but yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty
I don't know
intense.
that I could do
I-
that.
That's big.
I had no idea. I had no idea if I could. I'll tell you, there's things I didn't use. So I always have a save your butt. At hour 3, I always do something to drive it to the end. And in this, I never used them. I had the giant eagles. So at hour 3, if you were not going to Amon Sûl, if for some reason you decided to, hey, we're going to go to Rivendell or somewhere else, that the giant eagles would have showed up and said, told Radagast, Amon Sûl's under attack. You need to get there. I didn't have to use them.
All right.
Oh, that-
No worries. Well,
enjoyed
I'll,
playing with all you guys too.
thank you for everyone. I'll just sign off here on the stream, and then we
Yep.
can always chat a bit later. So
Awesome.
until next time, see you on the next one shot.
Thank you.